I'm Harry. To the left of me is Tyson. We got a hell of a show this week. I got nothing after that. How was your week, man?
I don't know what that was.
I don't either.
And it's out there
I
in the
thought it was
ether
just
now.
gonna turn into something, but then I realized it wasn't gonna go anywhere, so I just stopped.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've had a great week, as always. Nothing to complain about.
Anything interesting happen on your side of the fence?
No, unfortunately, it was a pretty nothing week.
What was the greatest part of your week?
Uh I had a smash burger. That was a good week.
I don't know if I've ever had smash burger. There's so
Not
many.
smash burger, a smash burger.
Oh,
So then that would be it was the Jack in the Box one, which is new.
oh,
I
okay.
don't know. It costs me way too much, so
Oh yeah, fast food's ridiculous.
I know. What are we talking about here when it's cheaper to go to like a restaurant?
It's about the same price. I remember
Well,
I went to McDonald's the other day and it was like $15 for a Big Mac. Well, not just the meal.
yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
What the fuck? Isn't that even real meat? How am I going to spend $15 on fake meat?
I don't know, but um Shortstop, that restaurant. No, not Shortstop. In and Out. Apparently they pay starting at $18 an hour starting. So that's a first of all, that's amazing that you know they start out at $18 an hour
Mm-hmm.
for a fast food job. And
I think
second,
there's
that's like almost. I was like, wow, you got to work like an hour to pay for one of their meals.
there's some like truck stop chain that pays really well. I can't remember what it's called. Bucky's or something like that. I don't know if they have them.
Probably Bucky's.
Yeah. Apparently they like start off like with 401ks and shit.
Good stuff for the little
Yeah.
common jobs.
Well, it's kind of a necessity now, isn't it?
What, having 401k and all that?
Well, no, I don't know if they actually have 401ks, but they get better than minimum wage salaries.
Oh.
Something you wouldn't expect a gas station attendant to get.
Like, God, look, you're making more than I
Yeah,
am.
pretty much. Yeah. Like, man, do I really want to sit in this desk and take orders from a gender studies graduate?
Yeah.
But yeah, fast food's ridiculous. If it wasn't so delicious.
Yeah, it's good, but come on, let's cut those prices down. Especially when you got to work so hard to get it.
Right. No shit. Do you ever use DoorDash?
I don't know.
Yeah, that shit is ridiculous. I don't know how they're still in business.
I do DoorDash,
Oh, well.
so there's that part of it. But I don't. I don't order it. I just deliver.
How do you sleep at night? Those prices.
Hey, people, it's necessary for some people.
How is it necessary?
The time,
Hmm.
like you want to go and to the grocery store, spend like. First of all, I haven't been to the grocery store like grocery shopping by myself in like I don't know 2 years. Now I don't get it delivered anymore. I used to get it delivered, but now I purchase it online or put my shopping cart together online and then I go pick it up. But I don't go like through the aisle shopping.
See, I can't do that. I can't let other people shop for me. They don't get my shit just right. Like I want my shit. I want no substitutions.
You have the option for no substitution.
You do, but then you just don't get the item.
Well, if you don't want a substitution and they don't got it, then
Oh, they have it. They just don't look for it. At
oh,
least I know. I'll go the extra step. They'll just go. They'll see an empty spot and go, "Oh, no, it's not there." I'll actually go and look behind shit. Or if you pick out fruit,
ask people. I would consider myself a good fruit getter.
yeah,
I mean,
I'm
some of
not
these
letting other
fruits I
some.
have no idea. It's like what? Like, you know, if you get a bad one, that's on you for ordering such a weird fruit.
Well, even if you get like apples or something, somebody, if you're shopping for a stranger, you're not going to pick the perfect apple.
I mean,
That's
I'll
just
pick a good one.
human nature. I mean, you're not going to pick rotten apples. You're not going to go out of your way to pick something shitty, but you're not going to go out of your way to pick something that's overtly ripe or, you're not going to
No.
care. You're not going to eat it.
I do. No, I don't need it. I'm saying I get a good review based on the
Yeah, that's
review.
why you don't pick something that's completely shitty. It's not your fault that it tastes bad, but I mean, I don't know. I just stuff like that. I don't trust in the hands of the common other than me.
Like this guy, he ordered I don't even know what they're called, tomato or something like that.
A tomatillo?
Yeah, it's like what? Well, if you get a bad one, that's on you because I don't know what the hell this is.
Isn't that like a green, almost like a little green tomato?
Yeah, but how am I supposed to know what a good one is? I've never heard of it before that
Oh,
moment.
see, well, that you just make sure it's green and doesn't have shit on it.
I know, but some like you gotta like a. Anyway, let's start the show.
Well, you don't. You don't want to turn this into a grocery podcast.
Start a whole podcast on just being a delivery person. Good.
I wonder how many subscribers we would get. Watch that be like the $1 million idea. Yeah, so Monday Night Raw, we are in St. Louis, Missouri, and they replayed Hulk Hogan. I mean, The Rock coming back, so Cody can let him fuck his wife, and then Seth Rollins opens the show. Rollins says that he has more questions than answers after SmackDown, and he wants to talk to Cody. Cody comes out. Rollins says that he stands by everything he said about the belt being the most prestigious title in the industry. Conveniently ignoring Roman torching his ass last week. Just totally sidestepping it.
Well, he mentioned it.
Did he?
Yeah. Well, the only thing he said. So when he came out, he said, "Sounds like a pop to me."
Oh, okay.
And then after he did the Seth freaking Rollins and the crowd did the freaking part, they was like, "Oh, there you go. There's another pop."
Okay.
Like that's where he. That's what you're worried about. And all the things he said, the pops like
Well, all
take
right. At
offense
least
to.
I usually skip the first bit of his stuff because it's always I'm the visionary, I'm the architect. I'm done with that. And the O's, and I just fast forward to that.
Fair enough.
So yeah, good. He addressed it. So Rollins says that he needs a match against Cody as much as Cody does. I don't know if that's true. Rollins needs to know that he's the best, and the best needs to test himself against the best. And Cody right now is the best. And then Rollins wants to know if Cody's going to answer his challenge from last week. Cody looks like he's about to answer, and
Did you go underwater? Clearly, he's having some technical difficulties. We'll be right back with you. And let him work through some stuff. But yeah. So we'll talk about fruit while he's doing it. You know, like, so if a person tells you...
the grocery store's got me. They got me. I don't know what the hell happened. Sorry about that, folks. Or folk. I think you're the only audience I have right now.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I'll watch it on a replay, but...
So what did I miss?
I say we fix it in post, but, you know, then... Anyway. We were at Drew McIntyre coming out.
Okay, so he came out, and, you know, we need another person inserted into all of this. McIntyre's name graphic just says that he attacked CM Punk last week. And I can't tell if that's hilarious. Because you know that the square that says, 20-time champion and all that shit?
Yeah.
It just simply said, like, what he did last week. So I don't know if that's funny or if it's just really lazy and they jumped the shark on the little square. So already.
Sounds like... When I saw that, I was like, we're copying AEW already? Because sometimes AEW
do
does that. They do like the graphic with like just some funny stat.
Okay. Yeah, it was really... I couldn't... I was torn on it.
Like, so, like after Swerve Strickland beat Adam Page, one of the things was like drunks. Adam Page comes out, and one of the thing was like drunk Strickland's blood. Like, what's that? Why are we putting that on the graphic? That's his highlight: drunk Strickland's blood.
What's with that?
Which part?
The drinking the blood shit.
I don't know why he did it.
Okay.
It was gross.
Is that his thing, or did he just do it to Strickland?
Just to Strickland, because it was a bit of a blood feud, I guess. I don't know. He wanted to show you how off the rails he was.
Mm-hmm. Sure did, I guess.
Yeah.
So McIntyre, he's like, what the fuck? I injured CM Punk last week. So Seth, you and me, we're supposed to be talking about a WrestleMania match. And the crowd, they cheered really hard for that. McIntyre says that he even had t-shirts made. He reveals a shirt that McIntyre had made. And it's of McIntyre. He's kneeling next to a tombstone that reads CM Punk's WrestleMania main event. And I thought that was fucking awesome. That is such like old school wrestling shit.
Yeah.
And then he tells Seth that his extra small's in the back, which I thought was a good little dig.
Yeah, and Seth's like, all right.
McIntyre tells Cody that he shouldn't listen to Seth and he needs to finish his story. You've been talking about it for 2 years. Think about last year's WrestleMania and all the work you put in this year, the media events, the video game covers. You've earned it. Of course, the crowd cheers. McIntyre tells Cody not to let Dusty and his fans down. And Seth tells Drew to stop being a prick. And if Cody turns him down, what makes Drew think he's facing him at WrestleMania? He's like, we've done this twice, Drew. You lost. Glossing over the fact that he went 0-3 against Cody. But McIntyre didn't, which was great. And McIntyre tells Seth he says that Seth's belt is a workhorse championship. It's about the best man winning, except for the couple times that I got screwed.
Yeah.
Unlike Roman's title, where you know his family's going to help Roman, and you know the finish every single time. McIntyre again tells Seth what an amazing job he's been as champion. But if he were a real workhorse, they would have put him down after his first injury. And McIntyre says that Seth has taken the title as far as he can take it. It's time for McIntyre to take it from here. And then he just headbutts Rollins. And then Cody fights off McIntyre. And at the beginning of this segment, all you see is "We want Cody" signs. The crowd chants Cody and "We want Cody." They even stop Rollins and Cody from talking a couple times. Cody even has to like pose again. And there was a big old Rocky sucks chant. And it seemed to catch Seth Rollins off guard.
I mean, it caught everybody off guard. Who would have thought you would hear that?
If you've been paying attention.
Well, they leaned into it, we can say.
Well, yeah, they're smart. We'll get to that. I mean, they leaned into quite a bit.
Yeah, so there was mixed.
Dare I say they kneeled a little bit?
Oh yeah, they bent the knee for sure. Bent the knee, but that's okay. Yeah, we'll talk about more about that later. But oh, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so there was mixed reports about those signs. There was reports that those signs, WWE was, and this being the "We Want Cody" signs.
Mm-hmm. They were handing them out.
They were handing them out.
Okay.
There was other reports of people saying that the fans, were handing them out. They like the fans cared so much that they printed stacks of papers and then handed them out to their section so that the section can get behind. And that's kind of what The Rock was alluding to. These are grown men doing this. But yeah.
Okay.
And I actually heard that on give credit where credit's due, Busted Open Radio. They had like a call-in portion, and one of the fans said that they were printing signs out and handing them out to people. So it wasn't WWE; it was actually the fans. But then there's other reports that saying it was WWE handing them out. Maybe it was both happening at the same time.
What's wrong with the fans are doing it? Isn't that better?
It's good, but I'm just saying, if you think about it, these geek
You're saying it's
fans
a little inflated. Oh, I mean, taking the time. Yeah.
using your personal printer, or what? You're gonna go to the library and print out.
They go to Kinko's.
Yeah. Oh, can I get this printed 5,000 times?
I only need about 100,000.
Yeah.
Not too many.
Oh, yeah, can we use like cardstock paper? That's gonna cost you $5 a sheet. Actually, we'll just use the regular paper.
What if I want this laminated?
Yeah. Sir, your bill is $500,000. Is there somewhere we can shave off some money on that?
You have any discounts?
Yeah.
No, you did take off my 10% coupon, right?
Yeah. Did you get that coupon? The coupon wasn't for that many. So yeah, it's just I'm saying it's good if the fans did it. Even if WWE did it, I kind of got the feeling that they were playing into it already anyway.
Well, yeah,
Especially like the fact that Cody Rhodes never answered.
right.
Even through the weekend, we pointed out nothing's beneficial, and Cody, well, he did say not at WrestleMania, so there's that little caveat.
He said he's not challenging. He said he's coming for the title, but not at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
He implicitly said that.
Yeah, but he had never chose Rollins yet.
Right. He didn't get there. He didn't get a chance to.
Right. And then even tonight or Monday, he didn't choose Rollins either.
Well, that's what
'cause they played it
happened.
perfectly.
This is the timeline. The Rock came out and Cody essentially gave Rock his WrestleMania spot. And now we're at the next Monday where Rollins wants to know because he challenged him on that last Monday. And now Cody is fresh off of giving his WrestleMania spot away.
Mm-hmm.
And just before he has a chance to answer, McIntyre's coming out, headbutting Rollins.
Yeah, so they played it perfectly.
Yeah. So we don't know. I mean, we know at this point, we think we know. They just haven't made it official. But McIntyre, he's the turd in the punch bowl. He's great as always. Not always. He's great as he's been.
He's been on a run, yeah.
Oh yeah.
His shirt, by the way, it was the number 2 bestseller of the week, outselling CM Punk's own merchandise. So that's
I love how he pointed that out on SmackDown.
yeah. So, and he's been on social media. He's really like leaning into the Punk thing. It happened last week, but we didn't really have time to mention it. But we got a little bit of time now, so I mention it. So last week he posted a workout video. Guess what part of the body he was working out?
His tricep.
Yep. And the whole time he was talking about how important the tricep was.
That's perfect.
Yeah. So he's just been on fire all around.
I wonder if that was kind of encouraged by Punk. Kind of like Wahoo McDaniel and Greg the Hammer Valentine. I don't know if Wahoo legitimately broke his leg or not, but Valentine broke his leg and he was wearing I broke Wahoo's leg t-shirts.
Oh wow.
And just talking a whole bunch of shit. Like I'm telling you, this is old school wrestling stuff, and Punk is all about that.
That's so maybe he did have something into it.
I love it either way. I don't care whose idea it is. It could be Ted the Office Boys. So Cody fights off McIntyre. And I already said that. So DIY and Buried Brothers, New Day, and Imperium had a tag match, which DIY won. And it was for the right to face Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. In turn, the winner of that gets the number 1 contendership for the Judgment Day and their tag titles.
Okay. So for this match, first of all, it's a good match. A good modern match, I should say. And for the reason, and my notes were good luck breaking this, or, breaking this one down. I wrote that about you because, you do what happens in the match. Well, this match went on for the last 5 minutes was no tags. Just everybody jumping over all over the place.
I didn't
like,
even
good luck
bother.
keeping up with this. Now I will point out DIY they win. There was a spot where the Brutus brothers well, first of all, there's a spot right before where Brutus I'm sorry, the Creed brothers, I should say. So Brutus, he gets an ankle lock, and then Julius, he has an ankle lock on Giovanni Vinci, and then everybody else in the match, Julius takes turns giving them a belly to belly suplex, and then kips up after each one. So, they got the crowd into it. And then towards the end of the match,
wait. He took belly to belly suplexes and kipped up after each one?
He gave everybody else a belly to belly suplex.
And then kipped up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as they were trying to break up the ankle lock, he would, catch them belly to belly suplex,
Gotcha.
kip up.
Okay.
And the next one came in belly to belly. So
I thought he was taking suplexes and then kipping up. Like, what the fuck?
Oh no.
Okay.
He was kipping up and giving the
I
offense.
gotcha.
And then towards the end of the match, uh, Brutus, he goes up top to do the Brutus ball, and Tommaso Ciampa blind tags in. He hits the Brutus ball, and then they clear the ring. They do the meet in the middle. Johnny Gargano goes for the pin, and Tommaso Ciampa kicks him off, and then makes the pin as if he is the legal man. Now, good for him for because we saw the blind tag, so good for him for doing that. But number one, there's no way he kept up with who was the legal man that he should have tagged, because, like I said, there was there was at least 5 minutes where no one was doing any tags and they were just flying all over the place. So even Pat McAfee, who we didn't even mention last week, that was on commentary. That was on
Oh,
purpose
there
by
was a
me, by the
reason
way.
for that.
Yeah, that was on purpose. At least on my side, that was on purpose. He was like, "Who's legal?"
It was on my side too, for the record.
We didn't have time to do that. I was like, "This is going to be such a stacked show. We don't have
Nope,
time to
I
do
just
that."
wanted to brush past it. Like, why? Why even bother?
Oh, good. We were on the same page,
Yep,
but
we were. I'm sure we're. You know what? I bet we're on the same page with the whole main event thing too, just for different reasons.
we'll see.
Yep.
But yeah, DIY won that match, but yeah, chaos that match was.
Well, I didn't watch it, so there's that.
It was like a NASCAR event.
I just saw the
Like,
Inbreed brothers in DIY, and we are.
yeah, it was like a NASCAR. Everybody jumping over everything and tope
Yeah, that's not.
suicidas and
That's not
top
fun to
rope
me.
planchas and yeah, no, it was
That's
high
not
octane.
wrestling. That's
Definitely.
acrobatics. That's like Cirque du Soleil. I don't want to see that.
I said it was a good modern match.
Mm. So Lynch beat Baszler with the worst rock bottom ever. And yeah, Liv Morgan also did a promo.
This Lynch thing, it was to qualify for the Elimination Chamber. So I wrote down, "Gee, I wonder who's winning this match."
Oh, yeah.
And then
It's bullshit because they've been pushing Baszler and Stark, first of all.
yes, but as a tag team, not as a
So
singles.
Baszler's still an MMA badass. Becky Lynch is a fucking overrated, like, Karen Carpenter look-alike.
But she is the man. And she wins the match. They had a good chain finish where they were like reversing each other's moves, and then finally ends up in a manhandle slam. Like you said,
It was awful. She's so overrated.
I'm not gonna mark up this soon, but yeah, she finishes with a manhandle slam for the win.
It's not marking up. You can clearly tell what's a good rock bottom and what's a bad rock bottom, and she did a awful rock bottom. I don't know if it was her or Baszler.
See, that's the markup
So,
part. I'm not gonna mark up
yeah.
already.
So maybe, yeah. Okay, fair enough. But Lynch is the one. Okay, as a fan, Lynch is the one that did the move. She's responsible for that move.
Okay, well, I'll mark up then. Shayna didn't jump.
Okay, fair enough.
Like she didn't jump.
She's still the man.
Not timed.
Becky Lynch is still the best. Do you think Brock Lesnar would need anybody to jump?
There's a clear difference. By the way, Brock Lesnar, since you didn't mention him, he has been removed from the little opening signature.
He's been removed from a lot of things.
Since, because he likes to watch people pee.
He likes to, his favorite color is pee.
Yeah. Like, don't forget. Let's keep it straight here. He didn't meet her, so the only thing, his only sin was having a weird fetish.
He likes pee.
Yes. And he's kicked out of the WWE for having a fetish.
Well,
Justice for Brock Lesnar.
Vince is kicked out of the WWE for not paying his hooker.
Yes, that also.
And apparently victimizing Johnny Ace.
Yep.
People power. No. Get over here, Johnny.
Well, I mean, if you read the thing,
I didn't. I don't care.
okay.
I mean,
I'm just saying
go
it's
ahead.
not
I'm just
out
saying
of the
I didn't
question that
personally read it.
it's not out of the question that he is a victim too.
Okay.
I mean, we're painting this picture that Vince is all powerful and he's controlling this. Yeah. Anyway, I don't want
I
to.
venture to say that at this point in at this stage in Laurinaitis' life, he has made or is currently a millionaire. Right?
Yes.
So if he were to just walk away at the first sign of, victimization or whatever, or he could have broke away at any point in time when he can stand on his own 2 feet. Why is he just going to wait until after this lady says that she's been shit on?
Well, I'm saying the same thing could be said for her. She got her million.
Oh, we can go into that if you want. We're talking specifically about Johnny Ace.
Well, I'm saying the same thing can be said for her.
Absolutely.
She got paid. Now, we're in this position because she didn't get all of her money, but she got some of it. She got $1 million. I know people who've quit their job because they had to work on like their kid's birthday,
Right.
and they're making like minimum wage. But you're getting shit on, and that's not enough. And there was more after that story too. That was another thing that like, wait, why is that? Why was that not the end of this whole story? Like, she said, okay, on this date he did this, and then on this date. So why is there more dates after the shitting?
Right.
Like that should have been the end of the. That's the crescendo of this whole story. But no, this was like just one of many things that happened, and some happened after that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's all fishy. It just seems like not fishy. It just seems like the dude's being persecuted for being a sexaholic. But
No, I mean, it sounds like I don't know what he was thinking. And I'm not
that
saying
too.
that, not saying all the things that he did. Like that just seems like an extreme fetish, especially with like what was being said and everything. Is
And that's if it's
basically
true.
He was doing what he can get away with. It's crazy that per this document, he owed her, $3 million. He only paid her $1 million of the $3 million. So all this, you stiff her out of $2 million, and this doesn't even. You just had to pay $2 million, and none of this even comes to light.
Right? How much do they pay Hit Row?
You billionaire don't want to pay $2 million, and now you're in your. Yeah, that's the craziest part. Like you $2 million, that's all, and you would still be running WWE right now.
Yeah, that's he just totally wrecked that company. I predicted it too. As soon as he came back, he just completely killed the WWE. He didn't kill it like as far like as fans, we probably haven't noticed too much. But he came back. His daughter's gone. His son-in-law is like kind of sort of in charge of creative, but it seems like he's not totally free to do what he needs to do. Like they keep interjecting shit like The Rock.
I don't know. I think he's making those choices.
You think so?
Or TKO knows, there's real money to be made, so maybe there's like, hey, this is a big thing. Why not let him in?
Well,
I mean, there were people painting the picture that basically he's taken over. The Rock is now Vince McMahon. like he
they
brings,
were, yeah.
like he brings in his personal. Uh, he has his own creative team headed by like Brian Gerwitz, and
Mm-hmm.
he's writing for The Rock. So basically, he's surrounded himself with yes men who tell him, "Oh yeah, it's a good idea." So basically, he just replaced Vince McMahon, and now he is Vince McMahon. That's the picture the community was painting.
You don't think there's any truth to that?
No, I think everybody's blowing it out of proportion.
I don't know. I think there's probably some truth to it. I
Do
just
I
think it's
think?
kind of. I think it's kind of. I don't know. It's not a good look if you're regardless of whether or not your intentions are pure. If you, if you become the one of the board of directors or whatever the fuck he is, and then insert yourself in the main event scene for no reason.
Well, he had to save the WWE from these dark times,
Oh yeah,
as the story
wrestling.
goes.
Wrestling allegedly is as good as it's ever been right now.
Yep.
So I don't think The Rock was not needed last year. Probably,
We'll see. We'll see.
yeah. I mean, we will.
But
I
yeah,
mean,
you
he's
look.
here regardless of whether or not he's needed. He's here.
Yeah, you look around. So The Rock, he gets put in the board of directors. His daughter is the CEO, or I'm sorry, the GM on NXT. His cousin Jay seemingly is about to get a title shot. His cousin Roman is main eventing WrestleMania. His niece, or whatever the hell Nia Jax is to him, Nia Jax, she's about to have a high marquee match. Like his little family is really um, benefiting from him being a head of the board or on the board.
Yeah. Although Nia was getting her little push before the board.
But if you paid attention, she got her little push after he did the uh, not the should the Rock sit at the head of the table. It was before that. When he came back with McAfee
Yeah,
on
something
like
like that.
random SmackDown,
They
and
were,
then
yeah, they were trying to flirt. It was basically the way it was. The community, quote unquote, framed it was that it was kind of a condition for The Rock to do Roman at Mania. Like, oh, see, Rock, we're pushing Nia Jax. She's not a joke anymore.
oh, and also from the community, The Rock was guaranteed he wasn't going to be a board of WWE chairman of. He was not going to sit on the board unless he was guaranteed the WrestleMania main event slot. That was another report out there. So he was not going to take this high ranking position in a $1 billion company unless they let him on TV. Like, how ridiculous does that sound? That's like, hey, uh, Tyson, you're gonna get to take over the Dallas Cowboys. You're gonna be the new owner of the Dallas Cowboys. Well, only if I get to be quarterback for one season. That's the
Well,
only way I'm gonna own the Cowboys.
well, he's also like one of however many people are on this board.
Yeah,
I
I
think,
feel I pictured him like the Justice League.
yeah. Although I'm sure his voice is probably pretty heavy.
Yeah, he's definitely the most known of them.
And I guess he's childhood friends with Nick Khan or something
Yes,
like that, and he's pretty close to Ari, whatever the fuck his name is.
Emmanuel.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of, I don't know if nepotism's the right word there. There's a lot of business incest,
Right. Yeah.
but whatever. Either way, he's here. We'll see what happens. I like that. I like I like the stuff that Roman's doing to a point. I don't mind Jay, although I think he needs to win or something. He's kind of goofy. He's kind of a jester. He doesn't need to win. He ain't gonna win his next match, but
I don't know.
I do.
Things are changing.
No, no,
If The Rock is as egotistical and all this stuff.
you don't care about Jay. And you know what? I forgot to mention this. I kind of liked how Nia Jax carried herself in the Royal Rumble when everybody was booing her. She was kind of feeding into it. She's still terrible, and she's still boring and uninteresting. But I did appreciate that about her. But I don't I don't appreciate her little push. So
Well,
if that's an impact of The Rock, I mean, 2 out of 4, I guess, ain't bad. But
well,
it
I don't
ain't
know. I
great.
even talked about it before. I talked about it way long ago. You kept asking, why is all this happening with Nia Jax? Why is she squashing everybody? I said for the payoff.
There's
I
no
didn't know
payoff.
I didn't know there is a payoff.
What's the payoff with Nia Jax?
Rhea Ripley beating her in front of her home country, whatever. I ain't gonna say it so I'm wrong.
But she's already riptided her. She beat her and like 4 other women in that fatal 3 other women in that fatal 5-way match. So I mean, beating her one-on-one, how is that? I mean, it's cool that she gets to wrestle in Australia, Perth, but I don't know. It's still Nia Jax.
That's true, but they've booked her well though. Like they haven't
I mean, they've tried.
overexposed her.
It's it's still Nia Jax.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. They've positioned her really well. It's just unfortunately that this is the same woman that she'd fall on the apron and scream "my hole," and she was
Wonder if
bullied
that
on,
hole's recovered.
and she was bullied by the little tiny girls on that stupid Divas show.
Oh, I never watched a second of that.
I saw a clip, unfortunately. Anyway, Liv Morgan, she did a promo that made me want to run her over repeatedly with a monster truck. So there's that.
Basically, she said that she's on a revenge tour. She's been out for a whole year, and all she's been thinking about is revenge. And she is targeting Rhea Ripley. Yeah, and then she said, "Watch me," and that was it. Uh, I don't know. I don't. Is she getting into the elimination chamber? Obviously, but I don't think she is going to get around Rhea Ripley just yet. So this little revenge tour, I don't know where they're going with it.
Pierce is yelling at McIntyre backstage. He's asking McIntyre what part of not medically cleared he doesn't understand, because that's what Seth Rollins is. Tells him he's going to be fine, and it'll be double if he sees him wearing his new shirt again. Well, I think McIntyre will be okay.
Yeah.
Well, his t-shirt sales.
And I like how they did this this little segment. So he's yelling at McIntyre, and then Rhea Ripley's music starts playing during the middle of it.
Oh, yeah. Pierce, he's trying to, he says he's trying to maintain peace or some shit. Like, I'm trying to maintain peace and order here. And then all of a sudden, Rhea Ripley's music plays. He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Because he knows exactly what's going to happen. Yeah, it was great.
And then Drew McIntyre's like, seems like you got another problem.
Yeah, and like, I don't give two shits about Ripley and Jax's feud, but this was the best way to start a segment I've ever seen.
Yeah, definitely creative there.
Yeah.
I'd say that, it's starting to catch on more and more on the community, but this new guy, whoever this new Kevin Dunn is,
Mm-hmm.
the guy they brought in to replace Kevin Dunn, he's been doing some good work. If it's all him, like the graphics that they show, and then that thing, and then the new angles like this, backstage segments like this. I don't know if he would be credited for that, but if he is, kudos to him.
I don't like the little skits
That they've been doing on SmackDown.
on SmackDown. They do them on Raw too, don't they?
I just remember them on
Okay.
SmackDown so
Yeah,
far.
Okay, maybe it's just SmackDown. I don't like them. If that's if that same person is responsible for that,
Can't hit them all out of the park.
no. There's some stuff that's an improvement, and there's some stuff that I don't like. But I'm sure if I nitpicked or Kevin Dunn, I could say the same thing. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't think the changes are super drastic. I wish they would get rid of that 3D Viper that Randy Orton has.
Oh, those things are probably next. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope they just go away. They're
Speaking
stupid.
of, they used to do this like 4K camera. They don't even do that anymore.
No.
Or no, sorry, 8K camera. And it was like there was this like super high resolution shot where it's like the person they were shooting looked like they were 3D. I don't know how to describe it. They used to do it on the sports too, like college football and NFL. They do like the 8K camera. They don't do it there either. Maybe just the 8K concept has gone away.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I've noticed.
Yeah, maybe they used to do it, but I would bet that it didn't pan out the way they wanted it to.
Yeah, I'm looking at some Randy Orton. He almost looks like he's animated.
Yeah.
Sort of. Okay.
So they used to do those shots, and then they don't do them anymore.
It looks like a video game. Yeah, that's neat. Maybe, I don't know. Nobody notices, pal. So Ripley called out Jax immediately, and Pierce comes out to shut everything down. But Jax came out anyway. Pierce tries to stop her, but she just brushes past him. Pierce ends up eating a forearm from Jax. I thought she just straight up punched him, but no, it was incidental. Then Ripley and Jax, they fight. Security comes out only to restrain Ripley. So, of course, Jax takes out Ripley. Then she did. It reminded me of Savage when everybody was holding Savage down.
When that person with crucifix held him down so they can get some free shots on him.
Had him in an armbar.
Yeah.
This is for your,
I'm helping
this is
you.
for your protection.
One of the best times in history.
Yeah. So, well, until this pay-per-view. Then she takes out security. And then she bonsai drops Ripley and slaps her in the face. So we're moving forward with Jax and Ripley.
Yep. It was made. Pierce made it official. Jax and Ripley is at Elimination Chamber.
Ivar and the Deer beat Tozawa and Dupree.
So the only thing I want to say about this match, you know, when you imagine like doing something every day, just anything at all, you're doing your job, right? If you do it every day, seemingly you would be getting better at it. How is it possible that you do it every day and then you get worse? Like every day you go in, when you started the day one, you were better than where you are now. How is that possible?
Are you talking about Dupree?
I'm not going to mention any names. That's all. I'm just asking that question. Just that question. How is it possible to start better than you are now when you're training with seemingly one of the best wrestlers on the roster, being Chad Gable, but yet you are getting worse every week? How is it possible?
I have no clue. I didn't even watch the match. And then when I fast forwarded and I saw the part where she was trying to entice Ivar, who clearly fucks deers. And I'm just, I don't know. Couldn't tell you. I don't know why they have her in another match when she like stunk up the Royal Rumble. Her entire run in that match was maligned to high heaven.
That's what I'm saying. How's it possible that you get worse every time you go out there?
I don't know.
Like that just doesn't make sense. But
they need to just make her a manager.
They need to. I know why they're doing it, right? Because
Right,
look at her. But she needs to go into the stew and cook a little bit longer. AKA, she needs to be in training a lot longer. But they rushed her to TV because look at her.
Or she could be Alpha Academy's valet.
Well,
she could be like Sensational Sherry.
She might want to do the wrestling thing. I don't know.
But she can't do the wrestling thing.
Who am I to say that, who am I to say that you can't follow your dreams? But you got to work at it if you're going to do it. Right now, as it stands, she might be the worst wrestler in history. And that's not an overstatement.
At one point in time, I wanted to be the next Mike Allstott. But I had to come to the reality that my skills were just not that great.
No, you didn't work at it.
Oh, I worked at it.
You didn't work at it.
I worked.
No, you didn't.
I sure did. How you gonna tell me what I did?
We were playing video games. You weren't working at it. You think Mike Allstott was playing video games ever?
Yes. I don't even know. How are you gonna call me out like that?
I'm just saying, we didn't. Like, if you want to do it,
can't just
fine.
go with it. Go just bust my shit.
Well, I was making my point. If you want to do it, that's fine.
Yeah.
You just gotta do what it takes. You gotta work at it. It doesn't seem. Well, I mean, I'm not in the training room with him, but however long she's training, she needs to like triple it. if this
I
is
will
gonna be
say
a
there's no
thing.
amount of work that I could have done that would have elevated me to even close to Mike
You're
Allstott's
still
level.
talking about that. You don't know
Well,
that.
you're still talking about it.
I'm talking about the match. See, I'm really trying hard not to like call her name out. So there's some.
Why? Why?
I don't know.
Say it. She sucks. Maxine Dupree should not wrestle.
Well, when you
She's
put a
beautiful.
when you put a
She's
name
fun to
on
look
it,
at.
it's like, well, I can't exactly go out there and she might be better than me, although I haven't trained. So
They are better.
there's
Every single one of these people are better than us. Every single one of these people can kick our ass. Every single one of these people, you know, can run circles around us. But they're the ones that are presenting themselves a certain way. We're the ones sitting eating potato chips, watching it, and critiquing it.
Well, I'm saying
And now
if I
it's
go
one
out
thing to
there,
say,
I could probably, if I go train a month, I could probably be more progressed than what I'm seeing on the screen. I can almost guarantee that.
that's that's different. I would never make that claim.
I'm making that claim, and I can guarantee that. I'm not going to
Okay.
do it, obviously. Just a quick little story. It was raining this morning. I don't know why I'm telling this story, but I'm telling anyway. It was raining
All
this
right.
morning, and my car. I went to the store real quick, and I was like, "Oh, I'll just run to the car." It felt like I was running in slow motion,
Oh man.
and I was like, "I think this
Yeah.
is as fast as I can go." Like I think I'm giving it my all right now. So that was a
Do
little
you
depressing.
There was one time where I ran across the street and it was when I was running. So I thought like I was like a big shit runner, but I was running on a treadmill for my running. So like I was so used to the treadmill doing the speed.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, running like Mario. And I felt it too. And the person I was with gave me this look. And I don't think we ever spoke again.
Well, I will say, at least for myself, the time before this that I attempted to actually run, I tried to do a sprint, and I proceeded to pull my quadricep.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it was like sniper. You know how they do that whole sniper thing, and then you're running, and then you just come up limping. Yeah. So at least I didn't do that this time.
Nice. Last time I ran was I broke my face. I took some new pre-workout shit. It was I was taking C4 and then somebody sent me like C4 blacklist or some shit. It was had Korean writing and stuff.
Mm.
And yeah, I took that. Felt good. I remember I was taking a shower after it and then I woke up on the bottom of the bathtub.
You just blacked out.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck? And I remember I got out of the bathtub, and then I remember falling because I hit my face on the floor. That's what did it.
Mm.
I felt like I got punched. Um, my girlfriend, she comes out and it's like, "Are you okay?" I'm just lying naked in.
I don't think so.
Well, no, the fucked up thing is like, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. Like, made it seem like I was just sleeping.
I don't know. I got
And
it.
then I remember I blew my nose and my eye just my eyelid blew up. I'm like, oh shit,
Mm.
this ain't good. I think we need to go to the doctor. That was awful. They poked my eye and shit.
I can't even put it in context, as you know. So
Yeah, they said they had to like make sure that there was no socket or something, so my eye didn't just fall out. But I'm like, can't we just risk it? Can I just keep my eye closed?
like, I'll take
You
my
have to poke.
chances.
I'll just wear an eye patch. Yeah. That was the worst part. Believe it or not.
I bet.
So, moving on, the Judgment Day's backstage. I don't even know what the fuck we were talking about. Oh, Dupree.
Yeah.
See, we talk about Maxine Dupree, and then we get visuals of me naked with a blown up eye. All right, Judgment Day's backstage. Truth's still a member. It ends with Priest saying, "Make yourself at home." It seems like he's just given up. Can't beat it out of him.
Yep. Still doing the R-Truth thing, I guess.
Yep. Then Miz beat McTurd. Truth was there as well.
Yep.
Then they showed a clip of CM Punk's first day of his comeback, and he had a successful surgery. So that's nice. And Gunther has a Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship celebration. And it's to celebrate the man's 605 days as champion. He is still, of course, the longest reigning champion of all time. And Gunther says immediately to Ludwig that he appreciates the pomp and circumstances, but going forward, he doesn't want it anymore. Because 600 days, 700 days, 1,000 days, it's all guaranteed. One thing that's not going to change is the Ring General will be the greatest and longest Intercontinental Champion of all time. And Gunther says he's running out of competition. And there's no man worthy of challenging him for this great title. So naturally, Jey Uso comes out.
And I was between him or Braun Breaker. Like whose music is about to hit?
Okay. Gunther immediately makes fun of Jay's hand bob thing, which I thought was kind of funny. I get it. Simple gestures for a simple audience.
That was like a freaking football game.
Yeah. So Gunther says the last time he saw Jay was when he was eliminating him eliminating him in the Royal Rumble, which I don't know if it's true or not. And then he said the celebration, or this is a celebration. He feels a little bit disrespected by Jay's interruption. Jay's like, no disrespect. You're an amazing champion. And then Gunther says that Jay was one of the greatest tag team champions of all time, even though he put in half the work. And Jay says Gunther's about to get 100% of his work. And Gunther congratulates Jay that it only took some 15 years to step out of his family's shadow. So when he beats him, it's going to be worse than his family ever did. He's going to beat him so bad that he's going to be wishing for the good old days where they couldn't tell him and Jimmy apart. And then Gunther drops a nuke. He looks at Jimmy straight in the eyes and he goes, "Oos!" And then he shoulder charges him. So, of course, Jay goes after Gunther. Imperium, they start whooping on Jay. And then the New Day come out because, of course.
Yeah, and
so we're getting Jay and Gunther.
Apparently, next week we're getting New Day and Jey Uso versus Imperium. And then, at some point we're getting Gunther versus Jey Uso.
Which I would think would be the Elimination Chamber.
I would think so too, but if you were to believe the reports, apparently Gunther can't go to Australia because of visa issues.
Oh. Okay. So, never mind.
I mean, that's what people are saying, but I don't know. I don't know about the whole visa thing. So, like, isn't he from, like, what do you mean he can't leave America?
Well, he probably can't enter Australia.
Oh, I think it's like put him in a suitcase or something.
He's an Austrian with a U.S. or temporary U.S. citizenship, I would imagine.
So he can't go back home.
Well, no,
Well,
he could definitely go back home, but when you're traveling, I don't know, traveling as a temporary, I don't know how the fucking thing works. I don't travel. I shouldn't be talking about it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's only, I don't know. You have to have like a specific visa for each place you're trying to go to, or is
I would
one size fits all?
I would think that, unlike not naming any names, unlike some countries, other countries are very selective on who they let just waltz in, regardless of whether or not somebody vouches for you.
Mm.
So they probably make it harder than it needs to be, or maybe Gunther just didn't fill out a form and he fucked up. I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, out of our own, but that is.
I couldn't even begin to tell you like the first step of getting a visa.
You go to the post office, I believe. I don't know.
Okay.
I think,
I know at one
well, maybe
point
it's
you
the
go to
DMV.
CVS to get a picture, I think. Or is that for a passport? I don't know. Anyway, the
Well, don't
Kabuki.
you need anyway? Yeah. Let's get off of that.
We said 10 times we don't know what we're talking about. We're still talking about it. Kabuki Warriors beat the Sparkle Bitches again. So there's that.
Yeah, nothing really happened. Just run of the mill tag team match. How you doing? Keep it moving, I guess.
Yep. The Insane Elbow is cool. Although Asuka really needs to work that into a DDT instead of just whatever the fuck she's doing.
Just dropping them.
Yeah.
Just getting out of the way. I guess there was one point when Kyrie was going. I don't know if it was on purpose or not. I just caught it when Kyrie was going up the top to do the insane elbow. They got the WrestleMania shot in the picture. I'm like, what are they hinting at here?
Who knows? Who cares?
I don't know.
Like, who are they going to wrestle?
Well, I would have said Shayna
It's either the
and
Spark. Yeah, right.
Shayna and Zoe, but it seems like they're off that wagon.
Yeah.
Also, if we're being honest, I don't think the Kabuki Warriors should even like be around, even thought of losing for like a long time. I think they should have like at least a year run minimum.
It depends on how because Io is pretty close to, maybe not a year, but it seems like she's had it forever. But she's just there. Ripley's had it a year, and she's just there too. She's definitely the biggest and baddest female on the roster, no question. But I can't think of a memorable match this year. I can't think of a memorable, like, she's just had the title.
True.
Her Charlotte match at WrestleMania, that was her best match of her title run.
I can't even tell you another match other than that off the top of my
Exactly.
head.
She wrestled Liv Morgan. She wrestled No Definition Rodriguez.
You know, that's not her fault, I guess.
I think she wrestled Zoe. Yeah,
Oh
she
yeah, she
wrestled
did.
Zoe.
When she was looking past her the whole time.
She may have wrestled Shayna. But she hasn't had like the Nia Jax thing. I guess this is the closest thing to a program that she's really had. I guess there's a long running thing with Liv Morgan, but do you honestly think that Liv Morgan has a chance against Rhea Ripley?
No, she's just gonna get ran through.
Yeah.
But I don't even know if that's like a. It's not a WrestleMania match for sure. So where do you even
No.
do it at?
Backlash. Crown Jewel. A house show.
Monday Night Raw.
Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, before they moved to Netflix.
So yeah. So Sami Zayn did a promo in the stands, or an interview rather, and he's thinking about where he was last year. You know, he was facing Roman in the Elimination Chamber, and this year he may not even have a spot in it. And he says Triple H compared him to Rocky because Rocky didn't win the first match. He stood toe to toe with Apollo, showed that he could be in the same ring. Then he came back and won. So he's no longer a contender. One day he'll be champion. He says he wants to prove the fans that believe in him right. And yeah, I like that they did the interview in the stands. It reminds me of something you'd see on like Mid-South Wrestling or something. Very old school callback wrestling tropes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if you know who Terry Gordy is.
I
He was
don't.
a Freebird. Okay. He's one of the fabulous Freebirds
I mean, I
with
know that.
Michael Hayes.
I know that name, the Freebirds, but I don't know who he was.
Yeah, he was a big fucking son of a bitch. But he did a great interview from the stands. He's like, I just like being up here looking over everybody. It's very awesome. You should go back and watch some of his shit. Shinsuke Nakamura and Cody Rhodes had a bullwhip match. Shinsuke did a promo earlier. I didn't really pay attention because we've seen this a lot. And of course, Cody won. Not even sure why they even had the match.
Well, I was looking at this match close. I was watching it close. Well,
Uh-huh.
not like actually, I was watching to see if Cody was going to win or lose this match because that was going to tell us a lot about. Because at this point, we didn't know, you know, what Cody was going to do at WrestleMania. If he was, if we didn't know if the WWE had bent the knee yet or not. So
Right.
I was paying attention. I was like, if he loses this match, then he's definitely they're building a story for him to a Daniel Bryan esque story. But if he wins this match, then they might be. I don't know. Because I sent you the message. I think they're trolling us right now
Right.
because all the stuff they were doing to Cody. So yeah, if he lost that match, I thought they were doing some kind of angle, either an angle or it wasn't an angle, and they were really just like, no, he's getting Seth Rollins, and you're just gonna deal with it.
No, he just beat Nakamura again. So that makes him like what? 5-0?
Yeah, but
Okay.
there is a there was a point where in that promo, Nakamura was like, "We want Cody" in his voice, and he's like, "No." That was the highlight of it. He's like, "No."
Fair enough. I did like how the bull rope had a cowbell. I thought that was a nice old wrestling touch too. And I think these types of match really suffer from the no blood rule.
Yeah, I mean, it was on TV, and it was yeah. You just
You
knew it
shouldn't have it
wasn't
on
going to be
TV
as
then.
violent.
It should have been a pay-per-view type match. But whatever. And hopefully we don't see Nakamura and Rhodes in the same ring together again for a very long time. So after the show goes off the air, McIntyre beat Cody's ass while Sterling was still wearing his CM Punk shirt. And after, Cody tells the fans that he wants them as much as they want him. I don't know if the McIntyre thing happened when the show officially ended.
I got it on the air,
Okay.
so
I know the Cody thing was definitely after.
apparently there was a lot. The fans, because again, we didn't know Cody's path, so the fans
Right.
were really
They
into.
wanted Cody.
Yeah, they wanted Cody. They were really into this. Apparently during like the Kabuki Warriors match, there was the big "We Want Cody" chants that they had to mute out. Like they didn't give a rat's ass about that match.
And whose fault is that? We keep saying that Damage Control should have been like, the NWO. And if
well,
they
watching,
weren't
yeah, watching back the NWO, I don't think anything could have come like they weren't gonna. In this day and age, just like how the NWO ended, has been on their run. Uh, I don't know. It's just like they get anxiety. Oh, we can't let the bad guys, get this high up. We got to have the good guys winning so everybody can go home happy. Like,
well, that's the thing. You eventually sometimes the bad guys have to win for the good guys to overcome something.
yeah, it seems like that's, I don't know, just a lost art or something. They're too concerned about keeping people happy.
Well,
Like the
they're
NWO,
not willing to push the envelope.
yeah,
They're too worried about appeasing whoever the fuck their advertisers are and shit. I don't know. They forgot what made them like the Attitude Era and shit, where some of the shit was hokey. And was it the best era? I don't know. That's debatable, but they at least would push shit.
I mean, you gotta, yeah, you have to stack the deck. Like even in like, yeah, you say they want to like please the advertisers and stuff, but even in like a movie, the deck gets stacked against your hero before they overcome. Like,
Right.
you know, how many Rocky movies did he get his ass beat and then only to overcome it at the end? I think it was all of them. He gets his ass
All
beat
but
in the
one.
first match and then at the end.
He didn't win the first one though.
No, but like Sammy said, he got his respect or whatever.
Yeah, but he didn't win. So that would be the one time he didn't overcome anything.
He won. He beat Apollo Crews though. Was it in two?
Yeah, I beat him in the second one.
Yeah, it was like a two-part movie.
And I think he lost to Clubber Lang. And he had to come back and beat him. I don't know. I have to go back and watch that.
Yes, I'm saying. In the Rocky movies, he gets his ass beat in the first encounter, and then he, does his training, and then he gets back to the top. He overcomes at the end.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
in
that's just classic storytelling.
yeah, or in like Star Wars and the
Or just old kung fu movies. You have like a local hero, and then some villain comes in, kicks the hero's ass. The hero has to go like the mountains and shit and trained and with some old man that lives in the leaves, lives on squirrel tea.
yeah, and you gotta like learn from him,
Yeah.
and then he teaches you
You have to
everything.
learn the way of the squirrels.
Or even
And the
better,
squirrel
uh,
and then the hero comes back, he's better than ever, and the villain goes away. But at some point, the villain has to win.
yeah,
For all that to happen, for the hero to finally overcome something, the villain has to get his.
yeah, we should be going off of TV with the villains standing tall over the defeated faces,
Right.
and it's like, oh, how is he overcoming this? Also, a good one. If you're a fan of like old school RPG games, at the beginning of the game, you fight the final boss and he kicks your ass, and then he strips you of all your powers, and then you have to basically start from scratch. You wake up
Yep.
in a bed somewhere, and it's like, what happened? Who am I? You
Yep.
got to relearn everything, and then you finally go through the game, progress, and then you're strong enough to take on the final boss at the end. Then there's geeks who keep playing the first fight to try to beat him on that first encounter. It's like, what are you doing? And they sit there hours and hours on end trying to beat him on the first encounter.
I don't even know what we were talking about.
Oh, uh, oh, I don't know how we got there.
We were
Shinsuke.
talking about the Kabuki Warriors.
Oh yeah, damage. I was saying because they were chanting "We want Cody" during their match because
Oh,
they didn't care
right,
about him.
okay. Right, okay. But yeah, but they could, because of women, they could push them a little. They could push them like the NWO. They could go there.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. They seemingly are afraid to have the heels look dominant for whatever reason.
Unless it's Roman
Well, even that one.
or Gunther.
Well, Gunther wins clean.
He sure does.
I'm talking about like just I don't know, like when we skip it to preview our retro review, like the NWO was so dominant. It was like, who's ever gonna stop them? That's what you got to
Exactly.
feel like. Back when he who shall not be named was doing his thing with Austin, and the deck was so stacked against Austin, like it's like, how's he ever gonna overcome this?
That was different though, because I always had I never had any doubt that Austin was going to lose. And WCW, I didn't have any faith in any of the baby faces
True.
except for Sting.
He was the one kryptonite apparently.
Apparently, which was good. I mean,
And again, you had to have a hero,
right?
and they were really pushing the Sting hero agenda. Anyway, we'll get to that later because I
Yep.
have some
First, we're
questions
going
about
to
that.
okay. First, we're going to Charlotte, North Carolina for SmackDown. Finally, we're back in Charlotte.
We are, but before we do, of course, don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're on our way to 500 subscribers. Thank you to all the new subscribers who've hit that button, and all the people who hear this in the future and then hit that button. Thank you as well. And uh, WWE shop. If you're going to get that shirt or any other shirt that they have available in the shop, you can do so using our link in the description below. Past the like button. There is, at the time of this recording, a discount for free shipping off of $30 or more. So there you go, saving you guys money as long as you use that link. And that's all.
All right. So Triple H is in the building, and he's expected to address the fallout of the Thursday press conference. Now, I didn't watch the press conference, and you said you did. So why don't you tell me what happened?
Okay, presser. Let me get down there. You better.
Because I had things to do.
Okay, so it was an hour long, so we'll go through it kind of quick.
Jesus.
Yeah, we'll go through it kind of quick here. So we start out. We have Bianca Belair. She comes out. She says that she's basically went into her. She's been at 3 WrestleManias. She's went into all. Is either champion or challenging for a title. This year, that's not going to happen, but she will make it to WrestleMania, and she let out a little nugget that she's undefeated at WrestleMania. So there's that. Next up, we had Rhea Ripley. She came out. She she pushed Perth because they're going to be in Australia, and she pushed that. You know, doing the Elimination Chamber, and whoever wins will face her at WrestleMania. And they'll find out that Mommy's always on top. Out comes Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch, her and Rhea Ripley do a little back and forth. So I guess they're kind of giving away who possibly is going to win the Elimination Chamber. And then the one stick out line of this whole thing is Becky Lynch tells Rhea Ripley that Mommy's gonna learn what it feels like to be a bottom.
Okay.
And then
She wouldn't know all about that.
well, because Mommy's always on top. Well, now you're gonna have to learn how to
Right.
be a bottom.
And Seth's her bottom too. So
Speaking of Seth, he was next. He comes out and he says that Cody Rhodes has a decision to make. By the way, this is the main event section here. So he says, Cody Rhodes, you have a decision to make, and I want to hear the decision. So get on out here. Out comes Roman Reigns before Cody Rhodes makes his decision. And him and Seth, they have this little back and forth. He said, Seth says, "Oh, look, he finally shows up to work." And then Roman says, "Oh, look, you showed up to work in your wife's shoes." Because Seth Rollins had some, and he posted on social media. He had some like tap dancing shoes with the bows. I don't know. He didn't get it out the men's section. We'll just say. So yeah, they had their little back and forth, and that was pretty much all from Seth Rollins. He was out on the stage the whole time, but that was pretty much the end for him. Roman Reigns said Cody Rhodes is Mr. Indecisive. He can't decide. So since I am the champion, I'm going to go ahead and decide for him, or I'm going to make the decision. And of course, the crowd is hot for Cody. And then he says, I choose The Rock. Now the crowd's, and of course they get louder. We want Cody. So then the Rock music plays. He comes out. He addresses the media, thanks the media for being there. He says, I want to introduce the media to the Cody Crybabies. And then that was a reference, obviously, from what he did on the Pat McAfee show earlier. He basically called, he said there's three types of fans. There's the Cody fans. Obviously there's the Rock fans. There's the Cody fans. And then there's the Cody Crybabies. And the Cody Crybabies are the grown men who are just so so stuck on Cody Rhodes finishing his story where they don't do anything but pound on their
Dad,
keyboards.
Dad, can I want to play catch? No, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Honey, you want to have sex? No, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. So that's the Cody Crybabies. And I was like, wow, he's just like talking about all these content creators on the things yelling at the top of their lungs.
Yeah.
Like he's talking about all them. And even like what's his name? LaGreca from Busted Open. He was like, I am a Cody Crybaby. Like, okay.
Well, I was about to tweet the Rock's daughter. Congratulations about how well her dad defended everybody, but I couldn't. So there's that.
Oh yeah, we'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, so he introduces the media to the Cody Crybabies, and then he also shows like a family tree, and it's just like this big tree that shows like all the branches of the NOI family. So you got like Yokozuna, The Rock, the Wild Samoans off of it, and Sika, the Jimmy Snuka, Tamina Snuka, like everybody who's been in the wrestling tree. I guess some people who weren't in the wrestling tree too, because there were some names, but they didn't have like their wrestling name under it.
Okay.
Some eagle eye people pointed out that Jacob Fatu was on that tree. So there's that.
They probably just ripped it from Wikipedia.
Possibly.
I mean, would you, if you can just take something from Wikipedia, would you
Yeah.
go out of your way to?
Do the easy work. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so The Rock, and by the way, he's full on heel here, you could say. So he says, first, you will respect this. So, he shows the tree and he says, now when you look at this tree, you this shows you that there's only one royal family in wrestling. And again, Roman Reigns has chosen him, so this is all like before Cody's come out. And um and then Rock says something about this this will be the biggest WrestleMania match of all time, and it's forged in blood. And then him and Roman Reigns do like a fist. The best way to describe it is like Arnold Schwarzenegger and that other guy doing like the hand grab thing.
And Predator,
I think so.
the black guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was Apollo Creed.
yeah. And then their muscles are it's a big meat. So they do that grab.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, that's a manly handshake.
yeah, they do that. And then at this point, Cody Rhodes, now he comes out. He's like, you hear him. He's like, hold on, hold on. And it's like, this is bullshit. And, there's no entrance or anything. He just comes out and
No, whoa.
no woes, which is
That would have
amazing.
been funny. If he did the whoa and then, wait a minute.
Yeah, full on woe. That would have been funny. But yeah, and then he says, Roman Reigns, you have a lot of pull, but this is not your decision. I won the Royal Rumble. I get to make my choice. And then he says, and at WrestleMania, I choose you. So he is officially chooses Roman Reigns for his. Oh, by the way, Seth is still on the stage for all this. Now, if you notice, I haven't said Seth's names since the whole shoe thing. But yes, he is.
You did say that he pretty much ended his part.
Yeah, but everybody was like, "Why is he out there? He had no reason to be out there." Because Cody Rhodes was choosing who he was facing. So now you need both champions there, and they want to give you the illusion.
And Seth Rollins initiated it.
Yeah, and they have to give you the illusion that he still can choose Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
So yeah, he chooses Roman Reigns. And then
what was Seth's reaction?
Didn't actually show it.
Okay.
Like he wasn't even on camera. So Roman Reigns is like what are you talking about? We're done with this. I've already beaten you. Go challenge for your little loser brackets title. And then Cody Rhodes says, basically, I had you. I came the closest to ending your little reign.
Same thing he's been saying.
Yeah. And he said, you always talk about my family. Let's talk about your family. Like, if your ancestors were here, they would be ashamed of you for the way you've been winning these matches. Now, at this point, enter slowly into the frame The Rock. I want you got to point all this out. He steps in front of Roman Reigns. So at some point, The Rock had positioned himself on the side with Roman Reigns, and then you have Seth Rollins on the side with Cody Rhodes. And then The Rock enters in the frame and he says, "That's my family you're talking about. When you talk about his family, you're talking about my family. We're talking about his blood, you're talking about my blood. So now we have a problem." And then, as I'm sure most of you have seen, that led to the slap. So he slaps the shit out of Cody, and then they have the
I wouldn't say he slapped the shit out of him.
okay. Well, he slapped him. Yeah, there's been harder
Yeah.
slaps, but yes, he slaps Cody.
In a in a universe that has had step like the weakest slap.
Yeah, she's definitely gone in on people. So yeah, The Rock slaps Cody. And then there's the pull apart brawl where they're all yelling at each other, and you have Seth and Cody on one side, and then The Rock and Roman on the other side being separated. Uh, where that's leading, that I honestly don't know. And then after the whole thing, um, they cut back to Triple H. He's backstage talking to Jackie Redmond, and she's like, "That was a wild thing out there, huh?" And Triple H is starting to talk. In walks The Rock and Roman Reigns. The Rock is in front of Roman Reigns. So again, important to point that out. And he walks over to where Triple H is and he says, "You need to fix this." And Triple H says, "That was out of line and you know it." And The Rock says, "That was out of line. He was talking about my family. I have to stand up for my family. You need to fix this or we'll fix this." And then as he's leaving, this being The Rock, he says, "You're lucky you're retired." And Triple H said, "Yeah, you're lucky I'm retired too." So that's how pretty much that conference ends. And then we get on social media the graphic. Triple H posted decision made, and he put out the graphic that Roman Reigns will face Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania.
All right.
So that was the presser, and so far, that is where we stand for WrestleMania.
Okay.
And just a quick little thing. It was a good. It was it was an hour, so it wasn't. It didn't overstay its welcome. I think it was pretty
Are you
good.
serious?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd rather watch that over. I don't know. I just think that it should be a yearly thing where they
Do
have
like a
the
WrestleMania press conference?
yeah. I don't know. It
Well,
felt like a UFC type deal.
I don't. You know how I feel about press conferences, so I won't chew my food twice.
Well, this was not a. It's different. There was no tables. They have the post media scrum thing,
Like,
but
but why can't they do that on Raw?
do what?
This shit. You got a 3-hour show. Why can't you fit this into a 3-hour show?
I don't know. They wanted to make it a big deal.
Wouldn't Raw be a
It was
big
like
deal? Wouldn't
a
more eyes be on it?
like even Punk. Or, I'm sorry, not Punk. Well, Punk was on commentary.
Yeah.
Oh, also by the way, and no one, I didn't see anybody really mention this, so I want to mention it. Punk, he said that at this kickoff show, he said my tricep is not going to be healed for WrestleMania, unfortunately, so I'm going to miss WrestleMania in the ring. But he said, but my mouth still works. So he kind of teased that maybe he's going to do commentary at WrestleMania.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Unfortunately, he's probably gonna have to be with Pat McAfee.
I don't know, but he was definitely good. Like
Of course. Yeah, he's great.
after after the after the little scuffle thing, he's like, they asked Punk, "Well, how would how would you take in this situation? He's like, I'm punching everybody. I don't care if it's my boss, my coworkers. Everybody's getting punched. Like, yep, you ain't lying. And then, yeah, he had another line. He was like, I mean, at some point, people forget this is professional wrestling. There's a way to settle all this, and it's in the ring. And he said, I don't know. We got a lot of in the locker room. We've got a lot of man buns and not a lot of men under them.
Nice.
So yeah, that was the. But yeah, they should do that. I think they should could do it every year. Get away with that every year, and it'd be like have the people who are gonna choose the WrestleMania opponents do it at that kickoff show.
Let's talk about the press conference. More specifically, let's talk about the complete change in tone, I would say, and the whole Rock, Roman, Cody love triangle.
What about it?
Well, I mean, what do you think?
Or to think about the decision?
Yeah, I mean, how do you feel about the change in tone? Because it's a clear change in tone. Last we
Yeah.
saw Cody and Rock, they were hugging. Rock gave him a little impassioned speech, and Cody did the "aw shucks" nod, and he walked away. Next time we see Cody, this is bullshit.
Well, yeah, they so have to make sense of that. Which is why I don't know. I think they shouldn't have bent the knee, as I say. I think they should have stayed Rock and Cody. I'm sorry, Rock and Roman.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you have this like Cody, yeah, clearly said I choose or not at WrestleMania, and now he's saying I choose Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Well, which one is it? You said not at WrestleMania, and then you got some fans like, well, they can't. How are they going to make sense of that? Well, you're the same fan that was crying about him not getting the shot. Now you get what you want. Now you you just have something else to complain about.
Fair enough.
Like that's why they should have stayed the course. Like I
Yeah,
don't know, you weren't gonna please the people who are complaining anyway, so you might as well just not listen to them.
they could have fixed if they really wanted Rock and Roman. They could have fixed this whole thing by having Rock come out at number 30 and just dumping Cody.
They could have. They could have.
At least it would have
But
made sense because what happened was Cody won the Royal Rumble after pretty much 2 years, at least a year and a half of Cody coming back and finishing his story, and we finally we're getting to that. It's like reading a book, and all of a sudden The Rock is just inserted into it, and it doesn't make any sense. And if he would have just won the Royal Rumble, it would have sucked. It would have been terrible, but at least it would have made sense.
it would have made sense, but I would say you would probably have the complaints still.
Absolutely, but I don't think it would have been as bad.
I think it would have been as bad.
You
Oh,
think
he
so?
just especially I mean that's what started last year's thing. Oh, he just comes out at number 30 and he eliminates
No, you started
three
that.
people.
You started that. You were the lone voice in that. But it makes
Didn't
sense
matter
with
how we
The
got
Rock
there.
because one, he's not a wrestler. Two, he just if they want to play up the board of directors thing or whatever, the TKO board thing, that makes more sense than him just being there.
Just basically strong arming his way in.
Yeah.
But I still think, yeah, I don't know. I think people still it would have made sense, but people would still be complaining about it.
Absolutely.
Oh,
There would absolutely be complainers because The
he's
Rock
been
could
mhm.
because of just that. But if they would have leaned into that, at least that would be something to bite into. I don't think there would just be this I don't think there would just be the animosity. Because it's like you're along for this ride and then you just get spit in the face. As a Cody fan, I guess.
I guess that's the problem people have. It's like we've been
It
doing
just
this.
doesn't make any sense. The dude just came. If they weren't like they were teasing Cody and Roman more than they teased Rock and Roman. If they would have at least teased it, if Rock, the one other time he came back this year, if they would have had a stare down or anything. Rock's made like irreverent comments on E.
Mhm.
There's just hasn't it's been like backstage build up, dirt sheet build up, but not like on-screen build up. Whereas the audience, the people that have been watching day in and day out, they've been seeing Cody work to finish his story. And then they had him win the Royal Rumble. So clearly, I mean that's the route that they were going to go. And then The Rock just shows up. That's the issue. If The Rock would have just won the Royal Rumble, I think that would have solved a lot of problems.
Well, people, it would have
Yes,
solved some problems.
right.
But yeah, people definitely. I don't know.
I don't think The Rock's daughter would have got as many death threats. I'll just say that.
Yeah,
Which, by the
seriously, he
way,
wouldn't have
don't
got.
don't send anybody's children death threats. I know she's the GM of NXT and stuff, but she didn't. It's not her fault that her dad's The Rock.
True, that's true. And yeah, people. She has nothing to do with this whole thing,
Yeah,
really.
I mean, she might be a cunt, and she might be using it as an advantage in her NXT career, but she has nothing to do with the Cody Rhodes thing. Send her death threats for the NXT GM stuff, but not for Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, and like, what are the messages? You better tell your dad to to get out of the way for Cody Rhodes.
Stu- you stupid bitch. I know where you sleep at night if Cody Rhodes does. Yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't. I don't know, doesn't add up there.
No.
But they did make the pivot, so there is that. Are you are you happy that they made the pivot?
I don't know. I, well, I don't know. The whole rock thing just kind of turns me off. I don't like that. I don't like that the guy with the most important title in the entire company is hiding behind the Rock, while the Rock slaps his main competitor. I don't like that the Rock's speaking for the champion. Who can speak? It's not like he's Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, The Rock definitely seems to have just like big brothered his way. Um, and as I pointed out in the thing, Roman was walking behind The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
The Rock stepped in front of him. So yeah, it's, we were just talking about, oh, this is going to be the match to determine who's the head of the table of the family. Well, and now The Rock is already like little brothering Roman Reigns.
Roman's letting it happen.
Yeah. Now that could be a part of the story that they're telling. Roman Reigns, he's going to be like, you're not the leader. I'm the leader. Like that could be part of the story.
I guess we'll have to wait on Smack. I just don't. I don't know. I don't see the because if you want, if the whole thing is about getting the casual viewer and all that bullshit, if the first thing that they see is a movie star big leaguing your top guy and the second top guy, I don't know.
Well, no, they're there for The Rock, so they I don't even think they care. It's like, who are those other two guys? Get them out of there. Who's that Little Rock guy with hair? But
I will say that The Rock did make them look like children.
I know he's like 10 times bigger than both of them.
Yeah, Cody especially. Jesus, he better hope he doesn't have to wrestle him.
Well, I think he'll. I don't think The Rock will show up that big at WrestleMania. I don't know. I think he'll slim down. I mean, even he said he was gonna. He would. He's gonna be in a more cardio body type. Like on the Pat McAfee show, he basically said, he's got a trainer. He's got like the ring set up, so he's definitely training, and he's definitely going to be at WrestleMania. So that's why I even said to you, I think he just confirmed his like. Well, he did confirm it, but apparently he was, he was staying in. I don't know the word.
Yeah.
He was
I also
protecting the business, we'll say.
my other issue is Cody, like you said, Cody said he's not coming for Roman's title. Like he already said it. He already said no.
He
So now
did.
Cody is a liar.
Well, again, they can explain their way out of that. Hey, I trusted you. I trusted you. I came to you for this to help me with this decision. You told me that you were going to take care of it. You said I got a plan, and then you go out there and you say I'm going to take over. I'm going to wrestle Roman Reigns instead. Like you bamboozled me. Like that's how you explain that. Why I left the ring, I don't know.
Well,
maybe
what the fuck
maybe
did
at
you think
that
was going
point.
to happen? No, it's not me. I talked to somebody who knows you really well. Then The Rock comes in. They have a stare down while Cody walks away like some guy that just agreed to let another man fuck his wife. So, I mean, what did he think was going to happen? What did they have the stare down for? Were they going to just have a polite conversation?
No, maybe they had some bigger plan, and then The Rock, when he pulled him in, and whatever he said to him was, "You're out. I'm in," or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Like we had this plan, and then now you swindled me.
Well, I guess
You scammed me.
to your credit, you did say that the Cody supporters got what they want. And to the WWE's credit, they finally, I mean, they did listen to the fans, seemingly. I mean, they clearly changed direction.
Yeah.
I see, like, I've been seeing, reports on how this was all planned and shit. I don't believe that.
Oh yeah, that's the argument now. Was it like a work or not? Like, was this the plan all along, or did they change last minute? It's like, does either way. Like, okay, let's say from Friday SmackDown to Thursday, they've they changed the plan. Okay, well then from Friday to Thursday they came up with this, which is already 10 times better than anything they have on TV. So you're gonna have to give them credit. Like, let's okay, you're giving them, you're trying to take away credit that they made the wrong decision and we forced them to change. All right, well now you got to give them credit that they came up with something so good that quick. Like you're
Yeah,
gonna have to give
fair
them
enough.
credit somewhere.
Yeah, and I as much as it leaves a bad taste in my mouth because I think that they fucked with something that they didn't need to fuck with. That's my issue. It's not The Rock was good because The Rock he's an actor, so of course he's good. Like I liked how he was, I'll smack the shit out of you and fuck you, Cody. That shit. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the realism. Um, but he just doesn't need to be there. That's my whole thing. And I think Roman and Cody, they look lesser because of it, for no reason.
Yeah, he's overshadowing.
Yeah, and
Well, let me tell you this.
and it's not going to be about the rematch. I feel like it's just going to be about The Rock. And if they're setting it up for The Rock and Roman after this match, fine, I guess. At least they have a plan for that, but I don't what's the point of long-term storytelling like this if you're just going to brush past it?
Right. And they put themselves into another position here too, as well, bending the knee to the fans. So either, well, first of all, and I don't think Cody is winning again. So there's that. So now you made them change, and now the only thing you're gonna get is Cody Rhodes looking up at the lights again. That's the first thing. Or perhaps they do go ahead and pull the trigger and Cody Rhodes ends the reign of Roman Reigns. Well, now it's kind of tainted. It's like, are they only doing this to appease the crybabies?
Wasn't that what the WWE's whole thing is, that they listen to the WWE universe, and that's the real boss and all that shit. So if the fans want Cody as champion and they give Cody a title run, I mean, I think they'll be happy. Isn't that what it's all about? What the fans want?
It is,
And I know
but it'll
I
be a
know what you're
tainted.
saying. There's a fine line between telling your story or telling your own creative. Like Stephen King, he writes his story or his novels. Sure, he wants people to like him and he listens to his audience, but he's not going to change the way he writes to cater to how his audience wants his stories to be told. He's going to tell his stories.
Right. You like it or you don't.
But at the same time, if he gets a whole lot of feedback saying that, oh, this is shit, I don't like this, you got to change something. And the WWE for years, ever since CM Punk, have just rejected what the fans want for somebody that they don't want.
And this is now a new regime that's listening.
Seemingly so.
Well, and I can almost guarantee that these will be the same fans, the one who are so heavy. Cody's got to finish the story. Those fans, I can guarantee, probably by Survivor Series. No, we'll even put it before that. By SummerSlam. Oh, Cody's boring. Like they'll be the first ones to turn on him and say his title reign is boring.
Would that be Cody's fault or will that be creative's fault?
Well, it'll be Cody's fault.
Why?
Well, no, sorry. It'll be Creative's fault because Cody, obviously, when he gets the title, he's gonna like enter into this John Cena esque type run
Okay.
where he's gonna, always win. No matter how bad he's getting his ass beat, he's always gonna win, and people are gonna get tired of it pretty quick. I bet.
Well, he's not going to have a 1,000-day run. So there's
Shouldn't
that.
he?
Why would he?
And then, last thing, Roman has spent all this time building up this title. If Cody Rhodes wins it, you you already said it. He's going to be like second tier on because the Rock and the Roman, whatever they do next, that's going to be like the major thing that everybody's watching. And Cody Rhodes, his title reign is going to be secondary to that.
And that's
Roman Reigns has spent all this time building this title up, only for it to like drop a tear when he loses it.
their fault for letting Rock just steal the spotlight.
No, it is not their fault.
Yes, it is.
It's the talent's fault for not being able to raise their level to take over what the
there's a
Rock
degree
is.
to that as well, but a lot of their shit's scripted. It's not like it's not like the Attitude Era days where they can just go off the cuff.
It's true.
So they're a little bit more regimented than I'm sure The Rock is.
Yeah, and I don't know how accurate it was, but you had people who used to say Vince McMahon doesn't want to create new stars because he's afraid that someone's gonna Steve Austin him and just walk out. You know, oh, you want me to lose Brock Lesnar? I'm out then. So he does. He was afraid to create new stars so that no one can. Even though John Cena was after that, but
Right.
they don't want him to. He don't want anybody to be able to put him in that position again.
Well, I thought it was Hogan.
Hogan too. But yeah, there were stars after that, so there's a flaw in all that story. Right? Because there was, John Cena was after that.
Right.
So I don't know.
Well, that was the press conference.
Yeah. Oh, I was just gonna say, but yeah, just the last thing. They have to make big enough stars where you don't need The Rock. Like, look.
That's what I'm
Look
saying.
at the rating that comes out next week. I bet you, because they've announced that The Rock and Roman Reigns are going to be on next week's show. I bet you that rating is going to be super inflated because the people who are there now can't get that kind of a rating yet. They can get there. And again, yeah, you're right. It does fall some on creative, but
I think it falls a lot on creative. Because, okay, Cody, after his feud with Brock Lesnar, he was on top of the world. And then they did nothing for him until he's wrestled Shinsuke 100 times.
True.
So, I mean, there's nothing really to have gotten excited or to elevate Cody, really, beyond, a 3-match program with a former UFC fighter.
True. Yeah, they have to.
And Roman's just, I don't know. Roman's just letting himself just sink into the background.
Well, Roman's
or at least he did. What's that?
I said Roman's good.
I like Roman, yeah.
There was, when at the height of the bloodline thing, you were getting like 3s in the rating, so that was as high as we've seen in a long time. They're in like typically in the 1s.
I don't think Roman has
usually is around 2, but
I don't think Roman has the most compelling story. He did last year, with the whole Jay Sammy thing. This year, not so much.
Yeah, they kind of took the foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah. Now it seems like they're putting some fuel back onto it, but I don't know. It doesn't matter. The people that support Cody, they got what they wanted. The people that want The Rock there, he's there. I'm sure. I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, congratulations, you, the Cody Crybabies. Congratulations, you got what you wanted. But maybe you didn't get what you wanted because that's only one piece of the puzzle. And I think there's going to be some heartbroken people at the end of WrestleMania.
We'll see what
I
happens.
want to see Cody win, especially with the Rock seemingly like in the story and like backing Roman Reigns, or He's not back
Well,
right now, but
like you said though, he's been if it's not The Rock and he's they're going to play into the big brother thing. I don't know, maybe The Rock and Roman have an argument or something during the Cody match. And then that sets up for I don't know. SummerSlam.
I think it goes into WrestleMania 41.
Okay.
Like this WrestleMania, whatever happens, and then throughout the year, The Rock's gonna get tired of being in the shadows. Like I'm the head of this company. Why are you overshadowing? Why are you big brothering me? And then that's gonna lead to Roman Reigns trying to break out of the shadow.
Now
And
the
then that's what will
question
lead to the match.
is it going to be for the title?
That is the question.
So we'll find out.
Yeah, just I don't know. Right now, now this could change. We're still 60 days away from WrestleMania, so I'm not locked in. Right now, I'm feeling Roman Reigns is the guy that's walking out of WrestleMania.
Okay.
But I can still change. We're not locked in yet. Only on the prediction show am I locked in.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the reaction would be if he does win.
Yes. They cried then. Wait until that happens.
Yeah. Oh, Ava's gonna get it.
She better she better get one of those bunkers where you can just go lock herself in it.
Going to witness protection.
Yeah. Like it's like it happens and then you can just feel all the eyes going towards her. Like, oh shit. 1, 2, 3, and then just like the death stare right at her. You bitch.
It was like when I got mad at Lee Corso for fucking up or losing an NCAA.
Yeah.
Corso! All right, so Triple H's music hits, and I hate how they refer to him as Paul Triple H Levesque.
Yeah, that was jarring.
Yeah. So Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce, they're in the ring with Hunter, not fucking Paul. And Triple H, he starts off, he says they're on the road to WrestleMania. But a left turn happened, and now the road is on fire. Crowd chants Rocky sucks. Triple H says he wants to clear up a few things because he feels like there's a couple people that don't know their role. Triple H says he doesn't care where anyone sits, especially if they're going to throw around authority that they don't have. And he says, I run this house. Then he confirms Cody and Roman Reigns at Mania is happening. And to be fair, there were some boos, but then there was a lot of Cody chants. It sounded like boos. Then Hunter says that there's some people that won't like this decision, but it doesn't matter if you don't like that decision. So Triple H is going full throttle as a foil for The Rock. And then Aldis, he wants to talk. And it's about Rollins' belt. And I don't know why he's speaking for Pierce's title, but there you go. And he confirms that the Elimination Chamber this year will be important because they kind of took away the importance when Cody took away his Roman decision, or gave Rock his WrestleMania spot against Roman. So naturally he would have wrestled Seth Rollins. So if the men had an Elimination Chamber, especially now that Logan Paul's in it, see, that would have been really stupid. But no, Aldis says, no, don't worry. It's important again this year. And he says that there's going to be a tournament to determine the participants of the chamber. And then to show a united front, Aldis hands the microphone to Adam Pearce. Pierce calls Aldous Nicholas before introducing the 12 wrestlers that will be competing for the Elimination Chamber match. And those 12 wrestlers at that time were Randy Orton, Bronson Reed, Kevin Owens, Logan Paul, AJ Styles, The Miz, Bobby Lashley, Ivar, Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, Dominic Mysterio, and LA Knight.
Yeah.
So let's break this down a little bit.
Okay.
Obviously, The Miz isn't going to win.
Agreed. Think we can. Yeah. Who is he? He's
Logan Paul.
He's not even going to make it into the chamber.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Who do we think is going to be in the chamber match? I think Orton, of course.
Yeah, Orton.
McIntyre.
I wrote down. Yeah, Lashley. He's going to make it. They kind of already announced the matches. The Miz, he's going to lose. Dominic, he's going to lose.
Who's Dominic wrestling?
He's wrestling Kevin Owens.
Oh, that's right. You think he's going to lose?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't think Logan Paul's going to cost him the match?
Well, I guess it could. Definitely that would definitely solidify them for Elimination Chamber. I'm sorry, for WrestleMania, because Elimination Chambers. This is for Elimination Chamber, so you can't. So yeah, it'll be WrestleMania. So it could happen. Maybe that should happen so that we can solidify that.
Yeah,
so
either R-Truth's going to cost it for Dominic, or I think Owens is going to cost, or Paul is going to cost it for Owens.
Yeah. And then, so really there's only 3 likely total ultimate winners: McIntyre, Orton, or LA Knight.
I don't think LA Knight's going to be in it.
I think Styles is going to cost him.
I think so. I think we're going to head for Styles and LA Knight. That's my guess.
Well, yeah, especially because they didn't do it this week. You're probably right. Yeah, because of what happened.
I think McIntyre is ultimately going to win it, though.
Yeah, I think McIntyre is going to be at WrestleMania for the title.
So
I mean, he makes the most sense.
Yeah, especially right now.
But it's Elimination Chamber, so that means he's going to have to, as he says, he's going to have to go through the top of the food chain here. He's going to have to go through Lashley if he gets in. Bronson Reed, Randy Orton.
I think he's beaten Breed.
He has, but he's gonna have to do it again.
All right. Yeah, Bronson Reed's probably gonna win his match.
So it'll be. I mean, he would have earned it if he's back at WrestleMania. He would have earned it. Now there is a portion of fans who don't think that Seth versus McIntyre is a WrestleMania worthy match.
Why?
They just don't. They don't see it as like, I don't know, that high up of a match to be at WrestleMania, especially since we just seen it twice. I don't agree with it. I'm just saying that's what a portion of the fans would say.
I think I don't think it matters who Seth wrestles. It's going to be a terrible match because the dude's hurt. I mean, there's only going to be so much he can do.
True.
I don't know.
I think they're more so saying like the name value. Oh, Drew McIntyre's not. He shouldn't be main eventing a WrestleMania match.
Who else deserves it?
Well, now that you put Orton in it,
So Orton
that's going to
versus
be a
Roman.
hard. That's going to be a hard out right there, Randy Orton.
I guess.
But yeah, we've already seen a Orton Seth Rollins match.
I think, yeah, and I think people are more interested in seeing Orton and Roman.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely going to be interesting. I was surprised when they put Orton in because yeah, that's going to be a hard out.
This SmackDown was weird because they had heels versus heels and faces versus faces.
Yes. And was AJ Styles a heel or a face? Because he was doing the thing again when he wasn't doing that, before.
You know, who knows?
No.
I just know he was all shitty with Mia Yim and his buddies.
And he wasn't wearing all black either.
Okay.
So it was like he just stepped back to his pre-injury AJ Styles. But was that only for tonight? Because he was working against Drew McIntyre, who's the bigger heel right now. So they
Probably.
needed him to
I
be a
don't.
face.
It was a little silly from a wrestling logic standpoint for me. Other than that, I mean, of course, McIntyre came out. He gloated about his Punk shirt outselling CM Punk's actual shirts, and he calls himself DM Hunk, and he promises that Punk won't get any of his shirt money. He's also glad that Cody chose Roman for WrestleMania. He said that Cody was toying with everybody's emotions, so he had to convince him verbally and physically. And he tells everybody that they're welcome. He took out Punk. Cody's finishing his story. All he has left is to save the world title and give everybody a champion that's best for business. Bring that old line back.
Yep, and he was talking to Triple H, so
Yep.
there you go.
Well, actually, he was kind of addressing all three of them.
Yeah, but that's what Triple H used to say.
Yeah,
It's
right.
best for business.
So then Styles interrupts, and then after Styles does his entrance, LA Knight comes out for commentary. And I like how the match started with LA Styles doing a baseball slide to McIntyre's leg. Like, if I was going to fight McIntyre, that's what I would do. If I can't hit his nuts, I'm going for a leg. And McIntyre, Styles worked the leg the whole match. McIntyre sold it beautifully, especially when he did his little kip up. And like when McIntyre caught Styles from the springboard, and he just headbutted him, and Styles just toppled. And Knight ended up pouring water on Styles like a child. And then, I don't know what the fuck he was doing.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Just
It
pour
wasn't
fucking
just
water on the dude. What? Why are you doing that little kid shit?
Yeah, I didn't know what we were doing there.
So McIntyre, he knocks Styles into Knight. Knight distracts the referee when Styles pins McIntyre. Styles clocks Knight. McIntyre nails Styles with the Claymore. And McIntyre is one step closer to WrestleMania. I was actually more excited for this match than I probably had a right to be. Unfortunately, I think LA Knight's involvement was... Bleh.
I was more so surprised by this match, obviously because of the heel versus heel thing.
Right.
But yeah, they're doing the Elimination Chamber qualifying matches, and we start off with McIntyre versus AJ Styles, who you could argue that both of them could be in the match.
Yeah.
Like, now we got over here Becky Lynch going against Shayna Baszler. No disrespect to her, but and over on the men's side, we got McIntyre going through AJ Styles. Like, oh, better yet, um, Tiffany Stratton is going against Michin, or what?
I thought Bianca Belair did.
Yeah. Okay. Bianca Belair is going against Michin. Like, gee, I wonder who's going to the elimination chamber here. It's like on the women's side, they're it's not balanced at all. It's like they're
Because
basically telling you.
there's only like three women that are positioned well.
Yeah.
The rest
And
are
then over on
just
the
there.
yeah, and then over on the men's side, you have like two people who could actually be I would say you could make an argument for all 12 people except for Ivar. 11 of the 12.
I don't know, the Miz.
10 of the 12. Well, Dom. 9 of the 12.
Yeah.
And I put now, obviously, I was just trying to get an engagement here. Didn't work, unfortunately. But I immediately put Gunther got snubbed.
Mm.
No one
I'm
hooked
glad
on
he
that
did.
one. Yeah, like we were saying, if it really puts you in a bad place because you have to,
Either Gunther wins or he loses.
yeah, yeah. Elimination Chamber, you pretty much have to pin or you either have to get pinned or submit to exit the match. So you either have him win it or yeah, we have to see him take his first pinfall.
And that's no bueno.
So yeah, good thing he's not in it. But
Unless, now, I would hate it with a passion, but it might be good if they did. If Gunther did do the Elimination Chamber, but the Miz pinned him, and that would force Gunther to drop his because he's the one that said that means you can't challenge me ever again when I beat you. So that means that the Miz would get another title shot because Gunther would be so enraged. Of course, Miz would have to beat Gunther.
yeah, it'd be I don't know, it'd be a weird thing.
Well, Sami Zayn did an interview, and he says his window to the main event at WrestleMania, or his window to main eventing WrestleMania for a second year in a row is closing really fast. But he can't think about that right now because he's got to get through Randy Orton. And if Zayn manages to beat Randy Orton, he knows McIntyre is waiting for him in the Elimination Chamber, somebody who he has never beaten. That's not an ideal path to WrestleMania, but Zayn will take it. And I skipped Pretty Deadly's whatever it was. Skit. We'll call it a skit.
It was a skit. Nothing really came of it. Pretty Deadly. They were talking about Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. They called him some weird names. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. That's what they call him. And yeah, pretty much said that they were recovering from getting their fingers broken.
Bianca Belair beat
those there.
Bianca Belair beat Mia Yim. There you go. So she joins Becky Lynch in the women's chamber. Now, allegedly, the WWE may have, well, not allegedly, they posted a graphic on the website that had 6 women on the Elimination Chamber thing. And it's believed that it was a spoiler for who's actually going to be in the match. And those people were Liv Morgan, Naomi, Jade Cargill, Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, and Tiffany Stratton.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't think Jade. Unfortunately, I don't think Jade's going to be in the match. I don't think she's going to be ready. And again, that's like I was saying with Gunther, that's a hard thing to put her in an elimination chamber match because you either win it or we gotta see you lose.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that would be a good spot for her unless she's gonna win it. And everybody else I could probably see. Now, have they? I don't think they've
This
shown
isn't
on TV wise.
no. It was like I said, it was the website. So it's almost like somebody fucked up.
Okay. So yeah, outside of Bianca, I'm sorry, outside of Jade, I can see the other ones being accurate.
Okay, just something to ponder. We'll have to see if it is.
Yeah. Now, who replaces Jade? That's going to be another question. But yeah, I see everybody else.
BFAB.
Someone who's basically someone who's not winning.
Renee Dupree or Maxine Dupree.
Well, because just like in the I'm sorry, on the men's side, on the women's side, Bianca Belair is going to be a hard out. Even though, especially her being on the stage at this kickoff show saying, you know, every WrestleMania she's gone into, it's one centered around a title match. Either she's the champion or she's a challenger, but it's always been about a title. So this is seemingly her first WrestleMania to go in without it being for a title. So is it going to happen, or is something going to happen where she gets the challenge for the title? That being winning the Elimination Chamber. Food for thought there.
Mm.
Oh, she never, and also they never got their match. A few years ago, this was like pandemic era, I believe. No, it was after the pandemic. Rhea Ripley, she won a uh, number one contenders match. She was supposed to wrestle Bianca Belair. That match never happened because Ripley got hurt. So, and then they never revisited it. So there's that too. Just giving you guys some food for thought. I'm not saying Bianca's going to win. I'm not saying she's not going to win. I'm just teasing for the Elimination Chamber, which we're like 2 weeks away for.
Sounds like we're getting Becky, unfortunately.
That does seem to be the plan, but you know, it did stick out to me that Bianca Belair said that. Like every year she's challenged for the title or been around the title for WrestleMania. So, but at the same time, she's also probably in a place now where she doesn't necessarily need to be around the title. So there's that too.
I'm okay with that. So Braun Breaker, he asked Triple H for advice. He wants to know about signing to Raw or SmackDown. Then Paul Heyman interrupts, but he sees that Triple H is still pissed off from the press conference fiasco. So he's going to come back next week with Roman and The Rock. So they're a team now.
They are a team.
So then Bayley comes to the ring. Crowd cheers Bayley's name. She said she was afraid that they would think that her beat down last week was something she had coming. Crowd chants that she deserves it. Don't know why. Then Bayley says that she gave everything to Damage Control, and all they did was take. Then she thought winning the Royal Rumble would earn her some respect with the girls, but she realized that they were just laughing at her. So Neo's going to get taught a lesson at WrestleMania. And who interrupts but Dakota Kai? No music. She just comes out, which is good. She wants to know why Bayley's not responding to her calls and texts, and wants to know basically why she's not her friend anymore. Well, Bayley wants to know why her ass wasn't at SmackDown last week, why she was getting her ass kicked. Guy's like, I had a doctor's appointment. Kai swears up and down she didn't know Io's plan. Bailey says, bullshit. You were right there laughing with everybody. Kai says, you know what? I believed in damage control. So did Io. But then Asuka and Kari came. They got into Io's head. I thought, everything would smooth over, especially when, the shit that you wanted to happen started working. They became the tag team champions. Io's the women's champion. You won the Royal Rumble. Like everything you wanted was happening. I just thought everything would smooth over. But it didn't. So then Bailey ultimately wants Kai to choose her Io. Well, then Io comes out. And it looks like Kai ran out on Bailey, but she comes back and she has a chair. And it looks like she's going to thwack Bailey with the chair. But instead, she fends off Kari, Io, and Asuka. So Dakota Kai, I guess, is no longer damage control. Are they even going to be called damage control anymore?
This segment, first of all, was done excellent.
Okay.
But yeah, so Dakota Kai, that look she gave Bailey when she had the chair, like she's standing behind Bailey, she gives her that look, and then she starts smiling, and then she goes after Io. Like, I don't know. It feels like she's going to side with damage control, and it's just like part of the plan.
Okay.
And then yeah, so probably like around WrestleMania she'll turn on Bailey, cost her the title, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
But for now, she is Team Bailey. And she ran and hit the chair, so this was her first like being active. So
Right.
there's that too.
Yeah, I thought she just ran away, which I thought was funny.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm your friend Bailey. Forgive me. Oh. See ya.
Yeah, and I think they even mentioned it on commentary on SmackDown. We have Corey Graves doing the play-by-play, and Wade Barrett doing the color. And they even mentioned it. Oh, she's running off.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It was good. It's kind of indifferent to damage control. Because every time, like, I think that they're going to go one way with them, they don't. And they always lose.
Yeah, I mean, coming out, they did look pretty good. This, like the three ladies, they look pretty good. And then all holding titles.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think
the visual's good, yeah.
That's why I think the Kabuki Warriors aren't losing those titles for a while. It just looks the optics of all them having a championship just looks so good.
Yeah, they just need to, I don't know, the attention to detail, and I just want to see some ruthlessness.
We need to get some wins. We need to get some, yeah. And we need to feel like who's gonna overcome this group, this tyranny.
Yes, that's what I want.
Yeah.
Randy Orton, he does an interview, and he says Zayn was right about the road to WrestleMania not being a guarantee. He says, well, Orton was out last year. He learned a valuable lesson about patience. So he's letting Roman cool off for now and setting his sights on the Elimination Chamber. Then after that, Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne had a match with DIY for the number one contenders match. And Dunne beat Gargano with the bitter end. And I hate that they call a grown-ass Tyler Bate big, strong boy.
Yes, they do. I don't like it either.
It's just very creepy.
Not gonna get any argument out of me there.
Yeah, very creepy. Fist bumps after the match. I actually thought DIY was going to win. Did they wrestle Judgment Day? I can't remember.
Yeah, a few weeks back.
Oh, they did. Okay. I couldn't remember if they had. I thought that they built up to DIY and then just didn't have the match. I couldn't remember.
No, yeah, they had the match.
Okay, I probably skipped it. Dominic had an interview. He says Judgment Day's winning all their matches at Elimination Chamber, and after that, he's gonna have matching titles with Rhea Ripley. Matching titles with Rhea Ripley because he's gonna beat Rollins at WrestleMania. Then Owens, he reveals that he's facing Dominic next week, and he's dedicating their match to Rey Mysterio Jr. And then Truth shows up to call Kevin Owens the Miz.
Yep.
I might just forego our Truth going forward. Logan Paul, he talks to Nick Aldis, and it's decided that he's beating Miz next week.
Yeah, so he's complaining about being in the Elimination Chamber. He's like, "What? I asked you for a match and you put me in this Elimination Chamber? Like, I'm a star. I'm a draw. I should just be showing up, slapping someone in the face, and then getting on the private jet." So, he should be getting the Rock treatment. And then he said, "But you know what? Fine. I'll go in this Elimination Chamber and I'll win it, and I'll be your new champion." So that was pretty much it. And then they told him that he's going to be facing the Miz. He'll probably win that, and then
He's winning it.
Yeah, and then he'll be in the chamber
unless some shenanigans happen with Owens.
I guess. Yeah, Owens is facing Dom on Raw, so I guess it depends on what happens on Raw.
Yeah.
So,
but I can see Logan Paul coming out on commentary and then costing Owens the match somehow, and then Owens getting retribution.
Yeah, kind of also what they're doing with AJ Styles and LA Knight too.
They're lazy. They would do that.
Yeah.
So Sami Zayn and Randy Orton had their match, and the crowd really wanted Orton to win, which made me just kind of sit and think about how far Sami Zayn has come since last year. And Orton wins with an RKO, and I guess Sami Zayn isn't even sniffing the main event this year. And McIntyre and Orton, they're the only ones that are announced in the chamber, and so they have a stare down after the show, or to close the show. And that was SmackDown.
Yep, it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top.
I still think it's going to be McIntyre.
I'm leaning that way too, but I'm not going to lock it in until we do our prediction show, which I believe should be next week.
Yeah.
But speaking of which, I think the Elimination Chamber, I guess it depends on what day it is, but it might be on like when our show's on. Like I don't know if the start time is for Saturday morning or Sunday morning. If it's Sunday morning, then it's going to be on at the same time we're on.
So basically, just do a watch along.
Yeah.
Or we could pause, ladies and gentlemen. Go take a piss. I mean, we could just delay the review till the next show.
That too. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
I still haven't looked up the day of it. I just know it's going to be like 4 in the morning.
Judging from the reception our pay-per-view reviews get,
doesn't matter when we do it.
Not really. So I mean, if
it doesn't matter when you pick to not watch it,
right? So we either do a watch along or we can just do the review the next show. That way, We don't have to just have the show be the pay-per-view. I think we've already illustrated that we're not very good at the watch-alongs anyway.
You don't know that.
Yeah, we do. Did you not go back and...
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Okay.
But we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So that brings us to our Wrestling Rewind. And this week is WCW's Fall Brawl 1996 War Games. And War
Which I was
is
confused on.
Why is that?
Well, I thought, from what I remember, War Games was a different pay-per-view than Fall Brawl.
Oh, it is.
So I was looking for War Games, and then I found War Games, and then I was like, no, wait, I'm supposed to be watching Fall Brawl.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was confused.
Yep. They have Fall Brawl War Games. And I think it's Halloween Havoc and then War Games.
Yeah. World War III, though.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
they're not very creative or diverse in their match selections. But yeah, this is kind of confusing. When we started doing this, I had that same issue. If it makes you feel any better.
Oh, that's good. I got to figure it out now.
Oh, good. So war is in the air. And WCW and NWO, they have a video package. And they play that awesome WCW music. Din, 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 din. They show that the NWO just wrecking shit. And it's revealed that DiBiase and the Giant have joined the ranks. And it also appears that Sting has turned on Lex Luger. And they wrecked a lot of cars. Seemed to be their main go-to, is to wreck somebody's car. And then we go to...
That's how you get them.
Then we go to Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And it's Shivani, Dusty, and Heenan opening the show. Tony says that war has been declared and it's WCW versus the NWO. Dusty says NWO seems to be in control, especially now that Sting has joined them. War Games will reveal it all. And Heenan, he says that this might be the NWO's last match because of the Four Horsemen. And then they replay Nick Patrick leading Lex Luger. He interrupts a match. He leads Lex Luger to the back to get jumped by Sting. And then Hogan and Hall and Nash, they show up and they just beat the shit out of Luger. And they show NWO fucking up Luger's car. And it's basically the same stuff that they just literally played.
Pretty much, yeah.
And then DDP versus Chavo Guerrero opens up the match, or opens up the pay-per-view with a grudge match. And apparently DDP lost his championship Lord of the Ring thing to Eddie Guerrero. So I guess Eddie Guerrero gets a world heavyweight title match now, or does he just get the ring?
I don't know, but it's impressive that he still had it.
I guess. It's impressive that the motherfucker didn't get a title shot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's impressive that he has not cashed it in yet.
Yeah. He's going for Damian Priest levels of not cashing it in. So Chavo whips DDP with a belt, and the ref didn't give a shit. DDP got a huge pop after a top rope clothesline. It seemed like he's starting to get over.
Yeah, he has the diamond pose thing down.
Yeah.
Also, his music, by the way, awful close to Teen Spirit.
Yes.
Like just a few chords off of Teen Spirit. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I like DDP. Like, oh, he's got Nirvana as his theme music. Oh, that's not Nirvana. Sure sounds like it, though. Sounds like Nirvana's like cover band that just can't get it right.
Yeah, that's how you avoid those copyrights.
Yep.
No, it's different. That's like Vanilla Ice. No, it's different. It goes dun 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 dun, not dun 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 dun. Like that sounds the same. Even you doing it that way, it sounds the same.
There was a part where DDP just tossed Chavo in the second ring, and Tony, he's like, I don't know what the rules are. And he's just like, oh, I guess they can just continue. Because the ref didn't do anything.
Yeah.
He's not very good at improvising. And DDP, he killed Chavo with a sit-down powerbomb. And he goes for a diamond cutter. Chavo reverses it into a backslide position. Then DDP, he stomps on Chavo's foot. And he finally hits the diamond cutter. And I felt like this was a pretty decent match. It just felt like it was forever.
Yeah, it's definitely a decent match. I also like set up for that powerbomb spot. Great looking spot. And then as always, I like how DDP can pull that diamond cutter out of anywhere.
Yeah.
It's like a reversal. Up there it is. Boom.
Oh, it's so. After seeing the RKO for decades now, or a decade, it's kind of weird just seeing the primitive version of it.
Yeah.
Gene Okerlund, he gives us a special report, and he covers the NWO's hostile takeover
Again.
So Hall shows up. Hall gets into a confrontation with Sting. Hall brings Nash. Nash powerbombs Bischoff. Hogan joins the NWO at Bash at the Beach. NWO repeatedly attack wrestlers during their matches and in the backstage areas. They use bats and even threw poor Rey Mysterio into the trailer. Then Savage tried to give chase by hanging on to the NWO limo as it speeded away. And I still wonder what his plan was.
He wasn't thinking about that far ahead.
The Outsiders, they beat Sting and Luger at the Hog Wild pay-per-view, thanks to some questionable actions by Nick Patrick. Hogan takes the WCW title from the Giant, beats up his best friend, the, what's his face? Booty Man, and graffitied the belt. He desecrated it. Then the NWO only increased their attacks on the WCW wrestlers, spray painting the NWO on the NWO logo on everybody and everything. DiBiase and Giant, they join. And then the nail in the coffin, seemingly, for WCW is when their franchise, Sting, turned on Lex Luger. Then Gene says the routine War Games match has become one of survival. So
and I like how they documented all this. Like, I don't know, it really caught me up to speed on what was happening on the TV.
Yeah,
like the week to week, and then they documented it. It started with Hall, then in came Nash, and then it came Hogan, and then they just keep building on the pieces.
Mm-hmm. They're growing.
So, yeah.
They're not yet to the point where they have Disco Inferno. So the shark hasn't been cleared yet. It's still interesting.
Yeah, I was just like watching. It's like, yeah, he's gonna have a run with the NWO later. He's gonna be in.
I think they all do at one point.
Yeah, pretty much everybody. I was thinking like, who was not? Like, obviously Flair, he wasn't ever in it.
Are you sure he wasn't in the Wolfpack?
I don't think so. I think he was the Horseman the whole time.
Okay.
But and then I also like how like Sting was like the savior.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's the one man that they're using against, or like he's the only one that can combat the NWO.
It's
Especially
interesting
since Sting has been like the mainstay of the company.
Yeah. It's interesting that it's Sting.
Yeah, he was the franchise,
Mm-hmm.
as they said. Like it would have to be. I mean, how they're doing it now, it like makes the most sense.
Yeah,
Your
absolutely.
mainstays have been like Luger and Sting,
Well,
so
Luger's
they're the
still
one.
kind of new.
Yeah.
He's only been there a year, I believe, at this point.
Oh, and Ric Flair. He's also pretty much a WCW mainstay. So
Yeah,
you
but
know
Flair's
them
old.
them defending the company just makes the most sense.
Yeah.
The OGs. Maybe we should have thrown out some Barry Windham, which we haven't even seen. I think he's
No.
retired.
Yeah, I don't think he's wrestling at this point. Or if he is, he's not. Yeah.
He
He's
was just
not
always one of my favorite names. Like
Barry
not
Windham.
yeah, not necessarily like the wrestling matches, but just like the name Barry Windham was like that's a wrestler's name.
I liked when he was a Blackjack. For some reason, Blackjack Windham
Oh yeah.
resonated with me. So the next match is Scott Norton versus Ice Train. And it's a submission match. And if you'll recall, they wrestled at Hog Wild, where Scott Norton just fucked up Ice Train and his injured shoulder. That was pretty much it. So Teddy Long, he was chanting "Ice, Ice" from the floor, and I really thought he missed the opportunity to shout "Ice, Ice, baby." I was disappointed in him for that.
Well, it sounds like he had a failed attempt of trying to get the crowd behind
Yeah,
Ice Train.
ice,
Very
ice, ice.
yeah,
If he would have said "Ice, Ice, baby," that might have worked.
maybe.
The crowd was pretty translucent. The referee had a microphone to ask Norton and Ice Train if they would quit, but I'm not sure that was a live microphone. And if it was, they didn't use it very well.
Yeah, it wasn't on, I don't think, because yeah, you couldn't even you couldn't hear him.
Well, there was a point where the referee had it right in Ice Train's face, and he's screaming and nothing.
Yeah, they didn't have it on.
It was very weird seeing two gargantuans just apply submission holds, especially Norton. Norton does
Yeah,
not look like a submission specialist.
yeah, I was thinking about that. It's like you got two of the literally biggest men in your company who should just be bumping meat, and your idea is like, oh, I got a great idea. Let's do a submission match between these two.
Right. I mean, it makes sense because, because the whole shoulder injury thing that they kind of played into at Hog Wild. But it doesn't make sense because these two men just, I don't know. I'm gonna beat you so bad I'm gonna learn a submission hold.
Yeah, I mean, leave it at an I quit match. I think you can get away with that. Like they're just beating the shit out. I'm gonna just beat you down until you quit.
Or a last man standing match.
Yeah, that would be good too. I don't think they've had those yet in WCW.
Probably because they're under the impression that you have to pin them outside the ring and then get back.
They don't have good. They don't have a good track record yet.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we don't want to do that match.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
How the fuck are you gonna book that? All right, so Juventud Guerrero versus Conan is the next match, and it's billed for the AAA Heavyweight Championship, but I didn't see a sign of said championship, so I don't know what that was all about.
Yeah, I guess Conan was the champion, but yeah, for whatever reason, he didn't even come out with the belt.
Yeah, there might be AAA's. They have rules or regulations, so maybe they don't want it shown on WCW TV or something.
Yeah, I could see that. I'm sure there was a good reason for it, but I just found it
Yeah.
Yeah, I found it. Oh, this is for a title, but the title's not even there.
Right. And they didn't really. Did they even mention it?
No, the little graphic came up, but that was
Okay.
pretty much about it.
All right. And it appears that Conan has joined the Dungeon of Doom and has become full cholo. And today
Their
even
words, their words. They actually
Uh,
said it on television that he's Cholo.
yeah, Tanae pointed it out in the whitest way imaginable. He's become he's gone back to the roots of the cholos of Mexico. Oh, thanks, Tanae.
Yeah, he said, "Oh yeah." He was talking about low riders.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
It's like this is who he really is. He's a cholo.
Well, and this is my favorite version of Conan, just the cholo with the jinkos and the hat.
Yeah, the only thing that was missing was the rolling clothesline. But
And the
maybe that's
tequila
coming.
sunrise.
Yeah.
But we'll get there. He's evolving. Psychosis was originally supposed to be in this match, but I guess Conan took him out, and Juventud is trying to get revenge. And clearly, this is the superior version of Conan. His attitude and offense is just intense. And he powerbombed the shit out of Hoovy. Like, he powerbombed him outside the ring. He danced around. Did Viva Mexico. And then Jimmy Hart says, Viva la raza.
He sure did. Jimmy Hart. Jimmy Hart said that.
Yes. Viva la raza. Fucking idiot.
It's like, what is he even doing out there?
Right. Well, he's part of the Dungeon of Doom.
Yeah.
So Conan, he powerbombs Hoovy from one ring to the other, which was awesome. And then he just flat out powerbombed him like a rag doll. And he did, there was a tossing German suplex he did when Hoovy tried to do the little body scissor roll up thing that the luchadors do. And Conan just tossed him kind of like in mid sequence or he grabbed him in mid sequence and just turned it into a German suplex. He just threw the little fucker around.
There was a moment in this match that I didn't get whatsoever. And it was off of the chain German suplexes that Conan did.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, he released it on the second one. And then Hoovy just like immediately no-sold it and rolled out of the ring. It's like,
Probably
what the hell?
Probably because they were supposed to go out of the ring.
What was like the weirdest thing? So he rolls out of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just walking out there. And then the referee is talking to Conan. And yeah, this went on for like a few minutes. Or not a few minutes, but long enough to be noticeable. And
he was hurt.
And he was counting too, so I don't know.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah, maybe really hurt him. He did fucking. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Or I thought if it's the same part, I thought he rolled out of the ring just so Conan couldn't pin him. That was my thought. I don't know.
I don't know. It was just like, I mean, it would have been more of that he was hurt, if anything, because completely no-sold the offense, and then the ref's counting, and he's like out there with his hand on his hips, like he's pissed off.
Oh yeah, then he got hurt.
Yeah, and then he finally gets back in the ring. So,
well, Conan kicked out of the Hoovy's 450 splash, and then after the 450 splash, Hoovy did a very, very less impressive twisty splash thing that didn't work either. And then Conan used Samoa Joe's move that retired Tyson Kidd.
Muscle Buster.
Thank you. And then Conan finally won with a modified Splash Mountain from the top rope, which they called a power drop. And it was kind of like a video game at the end where you just kept doing moves till you finally won. I felt because I don't know, it felt like he'd hit a move, try to pin him, no, hit another move, no, then he finally hit that move. Okay, that he did it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's me, but I think the timing seemed a little off in this match. It seemed like there was parts. If I could mark up, it seems like there were parts where Conan was just like waiting for Hoovy to do a lot of his shit. Kind of made it look awkward.
Well, since you've already marked up, there was definitely times where he was waiting on the offense.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. There was one point where he's waiting and Hoovy's still doing all that springboard shit. And he's just like sitting there looking up at him.
Yeah, it was just kind of hokey.
Yeah, and then I don't know how many times Hoovy would do a pin and like Conan's foot's like on the rope already. It's like out of position. I don't know. Maybe that was supposed to be part of it. So like his ring awareness. Because like there was one where like Conan's hanging on the rope, he does a 450 splash, and then Conan goes in the ring and then he pins him, but his foot is on the rope, so the count never started. I was like, you go and do that move, and then you don't have the ring awareness to pull him out a little bit. But I don't know if that was on purpose or not. But yeah, there's definitely spots where he's like doing his taxes, waiting for him to do all the springboard shit.
It seemed like he was almost getting bored.
Yeah, and then there was one. It was so blatant because the camera was on Conan, and he's like looking up. You don't see what's happening, but he's looking up for like, I don't know, 10 seconds, and then finally in frame comes Hoovy. But
I do know Hoovy gets better.
Okay, I was just gonna ask: was he always this bad, and we just didn't? Or I wouldn't say bad. It's just was he always this delayed?
I remember he had good matches with Jericho. Oh shit, maybe. I guess we'll find out.
Because it definitely wasn't the case with Rey Mysterio. He was doing the springboard shit, but the guy wasn't sitting there looking for 10 seconds while he's bouncing around.
Right. Mysterio is a different level, though.
Yeah.
I guess we'll find. Yeah, it may have been. We might be misremembering how good Hoovy was.
We'll see. That was like our first time seeing him, so
right.
He has time.
Well, after that, it's Chris Jericho versus Chris Benoit in the Battle of the Chris's. And Jericho's theme was something else.
I actually didn't hear it.
Oh, it's dun 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 dun. Just very generic and boring. I could see why he sings his own theme song now.
Well, there's that, but the walls, the Chris Jericho with the whoa, whoa,
yeah,
break the walls down. Yeah, now, that was a good one.
Yeah,
so
that's because WWE has like fantastic. Well, they did. I don't know so much about music now.
Yeah, it's just a different. WCW did, like I said, I don't think they concentrated too much on the music aspect, which is a mistake because your music is very important. I mean, Chris Benoit's music was great.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how true this is or not, but I seem to remember Jimmy Hart being responsible for a lot of the music. And if that's true, it makes sense because the motherfucker seems to be involved in a lot of shit.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
So I can see him not being, having the time to break the fucking walls down for Chris Jericho. Whereas WWE, they had a dedicated guy just for music.
Yeah, that's fair.
Benoit, he was over pretty heavy in this match. And he looks like the Benoit that I remember, that grizzled ex-hockey player, no teeth.
Jacked up.
Looks like he just smacked the shit out of you. And he did a lion tamer to Jericho.
Yeah, I wrote down, because I remember last week we asked the question if we think that Jericho got the lion tamer from Chris Benoit because he did it last week. And now this week, I wrote down, now I'm 100% certain that he got the Walls of Jericho from Chris Benoit because Benoit did it on him.
Yep. And Jericho did his classic springboard dropkick while Benoit was on the apron. And then Jericho attempted what I can only describe to you as a trust fall onto Benoit while Benoit was already on the floor. And then Jericho whacked his shoulder on the ring apron. And he's a lucky son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. He could have separated. Yeah, he could have not been the future AEW, whatever the fuck he is. That's for sure. Benoit did a chop, and Heenan said that they could hear that the impact all the way from Vietnam. And Dusty, of all people, gave him shit for it. You're saying something silly. Okay, Dusty. Sit down. I am sitting. Well, sit down further. Jericho's wild scream when he clotheslined Benoit after missing the lion salt was funny as shit to me. He's just like, ah! Shivani called a Frankensteiner type maneuver, which I thought was brilliant. And Benoit won with a back to belly superplex. And he pushed Jericho. Jericho was on the top rope. Benoit pushed him, so his nuts landed on the steel parts of the ring ropes. And then he did his back to belly, whatever, suplex. And it was refreshing to see a hungry Jericho versus the very, very full version we see today.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, I know. And for my money, I think his best stuff was in WCW. And he kind of went downhill from there. But that's just me.
Okay. Yeah. I think his early WWE run was best.
That's fair.
Beating The Rock and Austin in the same night. The little goatee with that annoying ass goatee. But yeah, I like that if we can mark back up here. So they finished the match on a belly to back suplex off the top rope. And they sold it like, well, he ain't getting up from that. That's it. I don't know. I just like the way that it was finished that way. Like that move was so definitive that, once he hit it, then you knew it was over. As opposed to now, they do like a Canadian destroyer from the top rope and they'll kick out at 2.
Right.
Or
it also helped that he got crotched on the ropes.
Yeah, but I'm just saying they treated that move like it was so high impact that there was no way he was getting up. Which, and yeah, this was the Chris Benoit that this was the Wolverine Chris Benoit basically. And I found it funny that he comes out by himself for the most part. Like, I know last pay-per-view he didn't, but for the most part, he comes out by himself. Yeah, he's still a member of the Four Horsemen. Like he he's a member of the Horsemen, but he goes and wins the matches on his own, which
Yeah,
is
pretty
a
much.
good touch there.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Mongo does that as well.
No, yeah, Deborah pretty much.
Oh, she didn't really do anything though. I don't remember her interfering too much.
Oh,
She always held the puppy.
oh. By the way, Mongo McMichael's entering into the NFL Hall of Fame. So congrats to him. I don't
Good
know if
for
he's
him.
still alive or not, but congrats.
Last I heard, I mean, to a degree, he's still alive, I guess.
Well, there you go. So yeah, he is making his way into the Hall of Fame of the NFL.
It's deserving. Super Callow versus Rey Mysterio Jr. follows the two Chris's, and it's for the Cruiserweight Championship. And turns out that Super Callow was given his name by a rap group, Callow. Sounds like you found that just as interesting as I did.
Well, why was Dallow written on his back with a D?
I don't know. There was Dallow on his back, but his pants said Callow. I don't know if Dallow, Callow. I don't know. I don't speak Spanish.
He was stupid.
Yep. He got a boring chant early on, super early on, and so the beginning of the match, Callow dumps Rey out of the ring with a clothesline, and this dumb fan went, "Oh!" So then later, Callow did a somersault to the outside in the same area, and the same fan said, "Hey, he was waiting for that."
Mm. I didn't hear this guy.
Then,
I said I did not hear this guy. Maybe
Really?
I wasn't paying attention.
Then he later yelled at Rey, "Speak Spanish!" And then I think, I don't know if it was him or one of his little merry friends, but somebody like got their face in the camera. So yeah, Mysterio won with a Frankenstein roll up. Cool how he bounced around both rings to do it, but so unnecessary to do so. Then Mysterio, he talked shit to Malenko after the match. You better watch it. And this match was ruined by that idiot fan for me. And Callow looked like an idiot. Yeah, he was ridiculous.
Yeah, I just wasn't. There's this Callow guy that was like, I don't know. And then yeah, he had the stupid glasses on a mask. By the way, he had his glasses, and then his little Kango hat.
Yeah,
That was also a part of his mask. I don't know. Didn't care much for him, but I do like. I do think it was funny that commentary they said that. Well, basically today he said in Japan, or I'm sorry, in Mexico, they do the mask versus mask match, and he said this during the Ray match. I think it's funny because I think we're pretty close to Ray being unmasked. So,
I don't know how close we are to that.
well, I guess when we get in the LWO era,
Yeah.
so Conan's already Cholo. So
Conan's, but he was Cholo well before Ray lost his mask. Because Ray still needs to feud with, I think Jericho feuds with Malenko first. So that needs to happen. And then I think he feuds with Mysterio. And he takes his mask. Then he takes Hoovie's mask. I think all the luchadors just get unmasked.
yeah, it's like get them damn masks off.
But they're important. No, fuck you. Get those masks off.
Yeah. But yeah, I just thought it was funny that because they're gonna do the unmasking thing.
All right.
And it was only in WCW that I remember there was such a big unmasking epidemic.
because they just like completely shit on they completely shit on the history of luchador.
Yeah.
Or they should they just they I don't know if it was Vince or Bischoff, but they completely just shit all over that culture.
Boy, did they, yeah.
So Nasty Boys versus Harlem Heat face each other for the World Tag Team Championship. And I think Super Calo should join the Nasty Boys.
Yeah, he did fit in. I think this is the last time we see him, if I'm being honest, but maybe not.
So Super Calo?
Yeah.
Oh, no. He sticks around for a minute.
Oh.
He's not like important or anything. He's probably like La Parca's level. Like he's in matches.
Well, he was
and he's
memorable.
on. La Parca's memorable, but La Parca didn't. I don't remember La Parca having like championship matches or being in the main event scene. He was always just around. That's kind of Calo.
Yeah.
And speaking of Calo, they the commentary team assure us that this will be the complete opposite of what we just saw with the Rey Mysterio Jr. match. And I think the story that they need to tell over and over again is how Harlem Heat and Colonel Robert Parker joined forces.
Yeah, how he's in the... Well, he's basically because of Sherry.
Oh, that's right. But no, wasn't he with them first? Because I thought
I thought she was
with
first.
them. He wanted to fuck her. Because he
Yeah.
was with Dirty Dick and Bunkhouse Buck or whatever
Bunkhouse
the fuck.
Buck, yeah.
Okay. Well, they need to go into that more detail. I want to see Colonel. I want to see Robert Parker and Harlem Heat just interact on a daily basis, especially Stevie Ray. And I think, speaking of Stevie Ray, I think he was far better than Booker. I think it's a shame that he never went to the WWF. Like, can you imagine Stevie Ray versus Farouk? Or Stevie Ray versus Austin?
You think Stevie Ray was the better of the Harlem Heat guys?
Oh, yeah.
You know, he had a run after Booker T left.
He had a
I
run,
don't remember
sort
if it
of,
was a
yeah.
singles.
Yeah, he was, because Ahmed Johnson showed up, and they teamed. Stevie Ray and Ahmed teamed as the new Harlem Heat for a while, but I think Stevie Ray broke off into a single because Ahmed couldn't keep his weight down or something.
Yeah. So he did have a chance, but I don't know.
He didn't have a chance because it was all NWO. I think Stevie Ray was the leader of NWO at one point.
Golly, they go that far?
Yeah.
They really tried to extend that
Well,
to
yeah.
different heights. I will say my takeaway of this whole match was this is the first time, because I don't know if you've picked up on this weekly, but every time Sherry's been on TV, I've hinted that she can get it. Well, this was the first time that she couldn't get it. She did not pull it off tonight.
No. Maybe it was the drugs. Well, Harlem Heat won. It was after Sherry hit Knobs with Parker's cane. So there was a lot of interference in this match. Like every time Knobs or Sags would go outside the ring, Sherry and Parker would do something. Anytime there was a pin attempt, Sherry and Parker would distract the referee. And Knobs is an idiot, especially because he kept distracting the referee while Harlem Heat, Parker, and Sherry would beat the piss out of Sags.
Yeah, that one time they were working him good, and he's like over there
Watching
picking up the chair and shit. And they were just like working him good.
So, but yeah, still like Harlem Heat.
They remain champions.
I just want, oh, Stevie Ray, can you pass the biscuits, good sir? What, motherfucker? You want a fucking biscuit, bitch? Get this greasy motherfucker a biscuit. The idea you having sex with Sherry disgusts me. Mike Tenay has a segment in the locker room, and he brings in Randy Savage, who he calls the savior of Fall Brawl. And Savage is going to shift the balance of power away from the NWO by facing the Giant. Savage says that we got to take the universe and turn it upside down. Isn't it ironic that the evil necessity of WCW, comes to the plate? Guaranteed I'm going to hit a grand slam against the Giant. Oh, yeah. I'm going to bring it all the way to Halloween Havoc. Then take you, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, and do what I do best. Rip your black heart out of your chest. And Tenay says it's pretty stupid looking ahead to Halloween Havoc when he's facing the Giant tonight. Savage says he's going to walk down the aisle tonight and cut the Giant in half. Good luck, Randy.
The NWO's Giant.
The NWO's Giant. The Macho Man versus the Giant follows that, and it's billed as a special grudge match. And Savage, they don't really say why it's a grudge match, which is kind of interesting.
Because WWE versus, I'm sorry, WCW versus NWO. That's why.
That's it.
I guess.
Okay. So Savage comes out and he's handing fans Slim Jims, so he's taking this match seriously. And Giant comes out and he still has his Dungeon of Doom music, and then it just transitions into the NWO music. And as soon as it does, the Giant runs to the ring. So I don't know what the fuck that was, but as soon as he hits the ring, Savage whacks him. And again, I don't know what the fuck that was. And Dusty brought up the fact that Nick Patrick is the referee, just as I was wondering if Nick Patrick would play a role in the finish. Spoiler, he doesn't. And Giant picks up Savage from the floor and just tosses him back into the ring over the ropes. It's kind of a highlight for me. And Savage got out of a bear hug by digging his thumb into the Giant's eye. It was savage, no pun intended, savage looking. Mm-hmm. And Savage manages to slam the Giant and hit his big elbow drop. And as soon as that happens, Hogan comes out and lures Savage to the entrance area. And sure enough, Hall and Nash are waiting with a chair. Then the NWO, they bring Savage back to the ring so the Giant can pin him. And Savage's status for Halloween Havoc is now in question.
So, yeah. So in this match, again, I don't know. Well, they played it out perfectly. Nick Patrick, he is talking to the Giant the whole time. They're over there beating the shit out of Macho Man.
Yeah, Dusty lambasted Patrick. And he's like, he showed his true colors. He's a turncoat. And then they showed the replay, and you see Nick Patrick, he has his back to everything. And the only thing he saw was the NWO bringing Savage back to the ring. They didn't see the assault, or he didn't see the assault.
Right.
Yeah, the Nick Patrick thing is brilliant.
Yeah, they're on to him, but he hasn't really shown his hand yet.
Right. It's like this for a while. He just does like weird shit. Kind of like that chop. Like, what the fuck? But then there's matches where he's just completely, he's straight as an arrow, you know?
Yeah.
So after that, we get an appropriately timed Slim Jim commercial, and then the generic WCW music hits, which can only mean one thing. War Games! And as the cage lowers, we go to the locker room. Tenay wants to know who's replacing Sting. Flair says they're in the house that the Horsemen built, and no one's replacing Sting. Then Flair says that the ambulance are coming for the NWO and the Horsemen kick ass. Anderson says Luger lost a friend, the Horsemen lost a partner, and WCW lost an icon. But just like in life, if you want something done, you just do it yourself. Sting or no Sting. Then Sting has the audacity to show himself after attacking Luger on Nitro. Luger says he's been waiting for 6 days, so he better be short and sweet. Sting says he'll make it brief. It wasn't me, Lex. Lex says he looked Sting right in the eyes before he cheap shot at him. I know it was you. I can't believe you, and I don't believe you. I love that Luger's betrayed and fuming at Sting, but he still calls him Stinger.
Yeah, you gotta stay consistent.
With a straight face. I don't believe you, Stinger. Sting says, fine, don't believe me. I'll see you out there. And then Flair's reactivated. He calls Luger a lean, mean wrestling machine, and they're walking the aisle tonight. And he makes no mention of Sting's sudden appearance or any of the shit that Sting said. It's as if Sting was not there to Flair. And that brings us to the War Games match. NWO versus WCW. And Michael Buffer, he reads off a bunch of rules that nobody could remember, especially a bunch of drunk wrestling fans.
I did have some questions about those rules.
Oh, Jesus.
So, first of all, he says, let's see. Oh, yeah. So, in the first interval, it's going to be 5. The first interval is 5 minutes. And 2 men will start, one from each team. And then in the second interval, which is like the next wave of people that are coming out, that's down to like 2 minutes, which I thought was way too quick, by the way. And well, it was quick, but it also like kept the match moving along. Like,
yeah,
so
I didn't mind it.
But yeah, but he said that there's going to be at the start of the second interval, there's going to be a coin toss. And I was thinking, what are they going to stop the match and toss the coin? But no, they did it in the back. So
apparently,
they cleared that up. But yeah, I was like, what are they going to do with this coin? They're going to stop both guys are going to be in a heated battle, and they're just going to stop it and let's flip the coin now.
Yeah. As they're sweating and bloodied.
Yeah.
Tails. I missed the coin. He just said a bunch of shit, and I'm like, no. It's a wrestling match.
Yeah, and then he also said the NWO has 4 members, but they won't be announcing the 4th member until he comes out.
Yeah.
And Team WCW has 4 members, but Team WCW has 3 members. They may not have a 4th.
And Hall and Nash are representing the NWO alongside the man who turned his back on WCW, Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Yeah,
I'm not sure why.
Buffer thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure why you'd have Giant waste his time with Savage if you know this match is coming up. Like, if you were Hogan and you were the leader of the NWO, wouldn't Giant, Hall, and Nash be a better team?
I thought he was. But we can see why they did what they did.
Yeah. So Scott Hall and Arn Anderson, they started off the match, and I was in heaven for 5 whole minutes. It was fantastic. And it was funny. Dusty was cheering for Arn to kick Hall in the dick, which I thought was funny. Get him there. And yeah, Hall and Nash, they have a phenomenal 5 minutes. Then Nash comes out, and it's a multi-person match after that. Hall and Nash, they destroy Anderson completely. And then Luger cheats. He comes out 30 seconds early. Gets in the ring, 10 seconds early?
Yeah, they kind of all did that, though.
I don't think so.
Well, not that extreme.
Yeah,
it was
Luger, he didn't know how to count. They all came in a little early, yeah, but
he was the longest one.
He crazy. Luger picks up Hall and starts using him as a battering ram on the cage, and the cage almost broke. Hogan hits the ring, and Anderson rips his shirt off, and the fans lose it. And Flair came out, and he challenged Hogan immediately. Then Flair takes out some knucks, and then beats everybody up, and then it turns the tide for WCW. And finally, it's time for the NWO's fourth man to come out. And who is it? Sting. With absolutely no build-up whatsoever. They just said, oh, it's Sting. They didn't, cut to the entrance to see who was coming out. There's no music. Dejected. I guess. I think they could have done better than that. Oh, it's Sting. I know he turned on Nitro, but still. They could have, I don't know. He came back, he said he didn't do it, and execution was bad. So just as the clock runs out for the WCW's fourth man, the real Sting comes out. And Sting beats up the NWO and fake Sting single-handedly. Then he says, up yours to Luger, and then he leaves. So after that, the NWO, they regain control. Hogan hits Luger with his leg drop, then bites his face. Then fake Sting applies the sharpshooter to Luger while Hogan applies a front face lock. Then I guess Luger gave up. They didn't really clarify that. But actually they did. They said he passed out.
Yeah.
And then Nash kicks a defenseless Luger after the bell. He was still in the hold, and Nash just felt the need to kick him anyway. And the NWO are announced the winners. And they kick Luger out of the ring. And Luger crawls to the back on his hands and knees, yelling, Stinger!
While reaching out.
Well, yeah, reaching out. Pathetic. And then Hogan and the rest of the NWO, they keep in mind they kicked him out of the ring. So then they chase him down and then just beat his ass some more. And Flair and Anderson, they come to Luger's defense, and Savage comes out of nowhere. Then the Giant appears, and he attacks Savage from behind. Savage gets a choke slam. And then we see Miss Elizabeth coming out, and she begs Hogan to not hurt Randy Savage. Hogan starts screaming at Elizabeth while Giant choke slams Savage again. Then Elizabeth, she actually gets on top of Savage and covers him. So then Hogan spray paints Elizabeth. Then he gets Elizabeth's face and tells her that she's nothing while the Giant barks at her like a dog.
Literally.
Then he grabs a microphone. He calls Savage and Elizabeth losers and lowlives. He says Savage and Elizabeth took an oath that said death to us part, and the NWO is going to make that happen tonight. He calls Savage and Elizabeth two pieces of trash, and he spits on Elizabeth.
He did do a lot of spitting, but that was the wildest one.
And then, of course, we end the show with Hogan posing while Elizabeth protects Savage while fans throw trash in the ring. Then the Giant paints NWO on Randy's back. And Hogan says they're the best thing going and spits in the camera. And Savage gets another choke slam. God damn, Randy. What did he do to deserve this? He's always getting his ass beat.
Yeah.
It's like every pay-per-view, he just gets fucked up. So then Elizabeth, she's ends up in the corner, and there's a referee just kind of shielding her. So Nash, he slowly approaches the referee and just knocks him out of the ring. And it's just Elizabeth alone with the NWO. And then they cut away the camera. And at this point, Miss Elizabeth, or Elizabeth Poffo, or whatever the fuck her real name is, better thank sweet Jesus that this is not real life, because the NWO would have turned her into Swiss cheese.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been good for her.
So Shivani, Dusty, and Heenan close out the show. And they're shocked that the NWO is presumably having their way with Elizabeth right now. They're saying, "Oh, she's alone. Somebody get in there." Although they're not doing anything.
Yeah, someone's got to get her out of there.
So then they speculate about Sting and Luger and the fate of WCW. And then the NWO come and they chase away the commentary team. And they take over the rest of the show. And I think the Giant at one point said he wanted Mongo McMichael's dog.
I did not hear that.
Okay.
I wouldn't put it past him, though.
And then the pay-per-view really ends with Miss Elizabeth helping Randy to the back to presumably treat his injuries.
After they were done with her.
After they were done with her. I'm surprised she could
yourself
walk.
off and buy yourself something nice.
Yeah. She's painted and spit on.
Yeah.
That's just what they showed on TV. Yeah, the Giant and Nash in there. You know they spit roasted her.
Yeah, they did.
They just stood while she spinned. So they're really good at building anticipation for the main events. I think, like, all throughout the pay-per-view, they were mentioning the war and, you know, Sting's possible defection to the NWO.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how, regardless of how the main event turns out, like, I like how they build up the anticipation.
And they kept playing like the video packages.
Right.
Oh, this is WCW where the big boys play.
I mean, it's redundant, but at least you can't say that you're not informed going in.
Yeah.
To some degree. And I like how they didn't show the real Sting or fake Sting's face until real Sting entered the War Games match. Like, even when he pleaded with Lex Luger, they just showed the back of Sting's head. And when the fake Sting came out, they just showed like widescreen shots.
Mm-hmm.
They never did a close-up of his face. Even though that there were fans saying they want Sting when the fake Sting was out.
Yes, they did. They were chanting that.
And fun fact, that Sting was Cobra. Remember Cobra?
Oh, from the original, the first pay-per-view we watched?
Yeah.
Oh.
Pittman did the army crawl.
Yeah. Oh, small world.
Yeah. And yeah, the Nick Patrick stuff is great. It's perfect. The Sting stuff is great too. Because after this, he has a really good promo on Nitro where he basically says, like, you know, I've been the backbone of this company, and for all you got, he addresses the fans too, and for all of you, for all this time, one little thing happens and you immediately just assume the worst of me. Well, fuck all of you. I'm gonna go away. I'm gonna go away for a while. I'm gonna keep my finger on the pulse and keep my eye on things, but I don't know. When you see me, things might be different. Something like that. I'm paraphrasing. And that's when he goes away.
And this is what led to the Crow Sting?
This is, yeah.
Okay.
Luger.
That's the question I had.
Basically, Luger being attacked by fake Sting and automatically thinking that Sting would do that. And the fans believing that Sting would do that. And everybody else just turning on Sting caused Sting to just lose his shit.
And yeah, he was just crowsting, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it makes sense. It's a good story.
It is. It's great.
Like, you didn't. I told you it wasn't me. And you didn't believe me, so you know, like you have to believe me when I tell you this, even though as you said, you looked right at me and saw it was me, but it wasn't me, and I told you it wasn't me.
Clearly, how can the fans who are 50 feet away from this guy, they can tell it's not me, but you can't. We traveled the road together. So some of the bad, I already said how the commentary sold Sting. I thought the end was really long. Went on forever.
Talking about after the match.
Yeah, like I get it. They were terrorizing Elizabeth, then they came to the commentary area. Like, okay. And
Yeah, I
then
think the commentary part could have been cut out and just like end it with them.
it should have had them all like just encircle or slowly approaching Elizabeth, and then it fades out with the little WCW logo.
Yeah. Oh, what's gonna happen? Find out next week. We'll see you tomorrow night. Find out what happened to Elizabeth. Where the big boys play.
Shows the giant like ripping her dress or something.
Yeah. I mean, she could have taken a leg drop at least. That would have been good.
Yeah. And finally, there was no Dean Malenko. I don't know how WCW made a dime off this pay-per-view without the man of 1,000 holds. But that was Fall Brawl. And yeah, this is the genesis of Crow Sting.
There you go.
And I believe Halloween Havoc is our next WCW pay-per-view, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because they had like
Yeah, because they were But first, we have WrestleMania 12 to contend with. That's going to be a fun one. Bam Bam Bigelow versus Lawrence Taylor is our main event. Obviously, that received mixed reviews, both past, present, and future. And for the WWF Championship, we have Shawn Michaels versus Diesel. And I'm pretty sure Pamela Anderson is with Shawn or Diesel. I think he's with Diesel. She's with
there. They're there, I should say. Oh, you guys know what I'm talking about.
For the Intercontinental Championship, Razor Ramon faces JEFF JARRETT. And I think the Roadie's there too. So we get to see the Road Dogs first WrestleMania. And for the tag team titles, we have Smoking Guns versus Owen Hart and a mystery partner. So that should be fun.
Still crazy to me that Bam Bam is in the main event.
Yep. And Taker is back, and he's wrestling King Kong Bundy.
Oh. I don't remember this too much of this WrestleMania, if I'm being honest. I might have skipped it.
I remember moments. Like, I remember the Razor and Jarrett match. I remember Owen's tag team partner. And I remember Shawn and Diesel and the girls.
Yeah, if I'm remembering correctly, I think I had to miss this one.
Okay.
Or I say miss it, but I had to watch it with the little static. Pretty much you get the audio only.
Right.
And you're like seeing the little figures every once in a while. Oh, you guys probably won't know about that. Let us know in the comments below if you do.
But yep, WrestleMania 12 will be next week with our Elimination Chamber predictions. Predictions, and of course Raw and SmackDown reviews.
It'll be a star-studded week next week. The Rock and Roman are coming back, so I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about. And as far as news, we don't really have anything strong enough to be its own segment, I would say.
Yeah.
So on that note, if you disagree with anything, let us know in the comments below. If you agree with anything, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Follow us on all the social medias. And again, if you're going to buy the new Drew McIntyre shirt or any other shirt, in the description past the like button, we do have the link, affiliate link, I could say that part. And right now you get free shipping on orders $30 or more. And until next time, is there anything else?
Just have a good night.
And top guys,